Anyway, all right. That's the reinitiation. Sorry.
I like it.
Awesome. Okay. So here we are again on another episode of Off the Tee podcast. We're really in for a treat today.
We are.
It's your favorites, Hughes and Ryan here, and today
Hello.
We're getting the opportunity to interview the man himself, Matt Jebavy, former pro golfer. Thanks for coming in, Matt.
Emphasis on former.
Emphasis on pro too.
Major emphasis on pro golfer.
Yeah, dude.
Has done obviously more than 99.99% of golfers will ever do. So
Yeah, probably more than that.
you need to listen if you like golf. Okay, but this will probably be a funny episode too. So even if you don't, tune in. So anyway, Matt, again, thanks for coming on today, bro.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate
Happy
it.
to do it. Glad to be here.
Today we're gonna just talk to you a little bit about your history as a golfer, but also just everything that you can tell us.
Sure.
There's like I said before, there's a lot of stuff that I know that I want to ask you personally for my own golf game. There's a lot of guys out there that if they had access to you, they'd be probably shooting you these texts all the time and just shit like this. So
You should have set a net up in the back. You could have taken some cuts in front of him,
could have. I did look on his
Pointers?
Instagram. And just kind of checked his form on his
Right.
drive.
You got any critique?
I cannot critique you. I'm not qualified for that. But I've heard you can tattoo a fucking golf ball.
I'd say driving is one of my strengths, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think a baseball background when I was a kid helped develop speed, but we can dive into that. And
Did you play baseball growing up?
Mhm.
Cool.
I did.
Cool.
I did.
Is it safe to say that you're the worst at baseball out of all your siblings?
Probably so. I'd say so now, especially. But I mean,
you want to explain why that is?
I don't know why. What are you trying to hint at there? Hughes?
Well, he's got some talented siblings, man. Some real talented siblings.
We'll get into that, but yeah, we had a pretty athletic family growing up, and fortunate that everybody was. We had an awesome time growing up, competitive. That was super helpful. All of my siblings played something, and just it was a blast.
So how many of you and your siblings played a professional sport, and what sports did they play? Because I know you had. Go ahead.
Obviously, me golf.
Right.
Ryan, he played baseball.
Okay.
He played 4 years at MTSU. Had a tryout with I think the Rangers and the Rockies after when he was done with college baseball.
Right.
Got picked up by the Rockies. Played 2 seasons, and so he played center field at MTSU all 4 years. The next brother, Ronnie, played 2 years of junior college at Columbia State. Transferred to middle for his junior year, which he just took over center field from Ryan when Ryan was done.
Damn.
So I had
Center
I had a
field
brother.
locked down.
I had a brother in center field for 5 years, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Ronnie just had a fantastic year. Got drafted in the 5th round at MTSU, and obviously as a junior, you're gonna get paid a lot more coming out as a junior, and
Right.
so that's why they kind of harp in on you, and it was pretty much a no-brainer to go. Plus, they have to pay for school, get that written in your contract, should you want to go back and finish your degree, which he just did in December.
Oh, cool.
So, and now he works for the company I'm with, which
So
is pretty neat.
3 pro athletes in the same family.
Mhm.
That's the odds of that are they're pretty. You're a finance guy, so
Like I said, some families can't catch a fucking break.
I'm telling you, dude.
We all started in 2015, which was pretty cool.
Damn.
And just I don't
Who
know,
made the most money?
Ronnie did.
That was a quick
Well,
answer. Dude.
Yeah, it was. Well, whenever you talk about like pro golfer is a light term, yeah, it was on my tax returns. But until you're one of the top tier guys or whatnot,
Yeah.
you're eating like you're hoping you're going to eat the next week.
Yeah, but
you're hoping you're going to be able to play the next week.
Just I mean, I know golfers, amateur golfers watching this, the thought of providing for yourself by playing golf is incredible.
It is.
I mean, that's even if it's not, a rich's lifestyle, that's just it's incredible to think about.
Yeah, it's I mean, obviously it was a dream.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate to have some help and travel all over the world and play some awesome courses, meet a bunch of people.
Yeah.
People always told me, like even in high school, like golf will take you some places, and It definitely has.
Yeah.
So it's
And now in the corporate world, you're probably, you know,
Exactly.
you're probably playing golf with your bosses and stuff like that.
Whooping their asses.
yeah.
No
people,
doubt.
people ask me, they're like, so do you let, like, obviously I'm in the medical field, and so medical sales, and like, you know, you're taking, you know, doctors to play or whatever.
Right.
And they're like, do you let them win? I'm like, hell no.
No. No.
No. Kind of like you hinted at a couple episodes ago. They like to just watch me play too.
Yeah.
Which is you know, it makes me feel good too. But they appreciate, like you talk about, the, you know, the work that I put in, and which obviously not as good as I was at my peak, but
Right.
it's cool to hear them talk about it, and it's like you guys ask me questions, and yeah, golf has helped me out a ton, even just in the workforce.
Yeah.
So.
Do you let them win?
neat.
I knew the answer to that, man.
No,
Can't be letting
it's so
them
funny.
guys
Multiple
win.
people have asked me. I'm like, no, they would be upset if I did that.
Yeah. No, I don't want to win like that. But now, here's another question tied into that.
Okay.
Dude, how often do you get asked to play in scrambles?
A lot. So
I bet a ton.
I did a driver fitting a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
At the Grove with G Linehan. He's the director of golf, or head professional out there. But I tested the new Taylormade Driver, the
Yeah.
Stealth.
I
which
got it.
I've been a ping man.
I got it yesterday.
Forever. Did you really?
It's sick.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I've been a ping man forever. Like, ping this, everything, irons, wedges, driver. Ping G10 was my favorite driver ever.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way I'll ever switch from ping. But you posted my TrackMan numbers,
Yeah.
and he was like, he got responses. Do you think this guy would play in a scramble with me? And somebody else asked me, Matt Walter at Indian Hills. He's like,
Right.
I got a message saying, hey, do you know this kid? Well, can he play in a scramble with us? But to answer your question, yes, quite often.
And now to clarify, TrackMan is a device that shows you how far you're carrying it, how far it rolls out.
Yeah, spin rate, launch angle. Spin rate is a big thing. Club speed, ball speed is a big thing.
But we want to know the carry. What's the carry? What did it say?
The other day it was downwind. I think the
Don't
one he,
stop
The
trying
one
to-
he I'm not the one he posted. I think was 342.
342 carry.
Downwind, like I said, downwind.
No.
It was skewed.
No.
It was skewed, but question I get asked a lot is farthest drive ever.
Yeah.
And I actually know the answer. The specific distance I don't know, but it was in Bogota, Colombia,
Right.
probably 5 years ago. The elevation is 8,500 feet.
Good God.
And the ball, obviously, the elevation travels. Well, it was an elevated tee box. It's the first hole. It was a Latin Q school. I think it was a 524 par 4.
Right.
Obviously downhill, a little bit dogleg. It was a little downwind at elevation.
Yeah.
I had 70 yards. But like I said, it's skewed. You know, you're at 8,500 feet, and so that's 15% right there of additional what it would like at sea level or normal.
When we played together a few months back, though, there wasn't a lot of skewing going on.
I had
You
the
still
ball.
make pretty square contact
Yeah,
with the golf ball.
yeah.
So it's one of your strengths, right? You would
Yes,
say.
it is definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, like big drivers though, I mean, they're real popular in those scramble requests.
Chicks
you know
dig,
what I mean?
chicks dig the long ball.
Chicks
That's what they
dig
say.
the long ball.
We
Do you
said-
think because I got that stealth, we're probably neck and neck now,
It's probably close.
driving distance?
Yeah, he might get me by a couple.
That probably
yards.
made up 80 yards like
Hey,
nothing.
that's it. That's
Dude,
it.
hell
That's
yeah.
it.
That new tech, baby.
That's it. But I have one ordered, the Stealth, and so we'll see. It won't be here for 2 months, but
Why is it taking so long?
it's a custom shaft, and I think the head, it's an 8-degree head, so it's I guess
Harder to find?
I guess I don't know.
Mine took 2 weeks. The Taylormade reps came out to Stone River
Oh really?
and did it so it was a free fitting, which
Mm-hmm.
was great. And I didn't think it'd be that quick because I thought with COVID and everything it might slow down shipping and all that stuff. But no, I got it exactly 2 weeks.
Dang.
I was shocked.
Maybe it'll come in sooner.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So
Yeah, but the numbers were good, and yeah, I'm excited.
that carbon
Excited.
wood, baby.
I know.
Man, when I first saw that driver, I didn't love it. And the more I look at it now, that red face, it's cosmetically, it's beautiful.
Like I said, I've been a ping man forever, and
Yeah.
the thought of switching to a TaylorMade is we'll see.
You'll go a whole set now. You'll be having,
I'm not switching irons. My irons are 9 years old, and it's like my third set of the same ones.
damn,
Ping Answer. They're the goat.
9 years old.
They're brand new, but they came out 9 years ago.
Do you still scope out eBay just to see if you can find sets?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason Millard, he's the same way. He has the same irons too.
Damn.
Ping answer.
Dude, that's
we
what I
both
need to
we
get,
both
dude.
found some last
They're
year.
blades?
We both found
Are
some.
they blades, though?
No, they're forgiving.
Dude, y'all too good to be hitting not blades.
Okay, if that's the case, then how come like guys on tour are not hitting blades?
Okay, that's what I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to discuss this with you. In my understanding, and it's not that vast of an understanding when it comes to blades versus cavity backs. The motivation or the plus side of hitting blades would be like you can maneuver the ball a little better.
In theory,
Are they a little hotter? Are
no,
they?
No.
I don't understand why all pros don't play with cavity backs because they're playing. Their room for error is smaller than any other person's.
Oh yeah.
So you would think you'd want a little bit on the toe or a little bit on the heel to be more forgiving or a little bit thin but they don't. So many of them play blades.
It's I mean, obviously guys on tour can strike the ball, especially the ones that are playing the blades.
Right.
But just like you said, there's guys that aren't playing blades because they're not, ball striking's not their strength, and that's where like the reliability on a consistent miss hit for like a cavity back club comes into play. Even myself, like I played ping eye blades for a little bit, but like the long irons, I had no business playing them. Yeah, I would hit them flush most of the time, but the misses
were terrible.
Yeah, I mean they weren't. I don't know about terrible. They just weren't.
But compared to a cavity back miss, they were.
Yeah. For easy numbers, let's say 200-yard shot, 5-iron.
Yeah.
Let's say I hit on the toe a little bit with an eye blade. Well, it might only go 185 versus the ping answer, it might go 195. Well, that 10-yard difference, that could be in the water.
Yeah.
Or anything, anywhere else. So
right.
That's just for easy scenario, that's kind of the case.
Damn.
But there's no shame in hitting the cavity back.
Don't I know it?
There's no shame.
I've never got off that cavity back.
And on the other end of the spectrum, hitting blades, it could be an ego thing.
Dude.
I see guys all the time playing blades. I'm just like, oh, you're costing yourself strokes.
Dude, that's
costing yourself strokes.
My buddy, I'm not going to drop his name. He just bought a set of blades. I've seen this man break 90 one time in my entire life. I was like, what are you doing, man? I hope you enjoyed breaking 90 that one time. It's going to be a while before it happens again. I mean...
Take a step forward, then two steps back.
Yeah, but it's like you said, ego. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
They look good. They look good.
Yeah, who cares about that? Damn.
Going back to the driver really quick.
Yeah,
something I wanted to ask before I forget. So a couple years ago, I'd run into you at the gym all the time. And at one point when I saw you, you were just jacked as fuck. I mean, I remember I was looking, I think you were repping 225 on the bench or something like that.
I had a good little run there.
You think he's looking smaller now?
Definitely. I am.
He's still pretty big, but he's not as big as he was. He was jacked.
If my brothers see this, they'll be like, yeah, you are looking weak, Matt.
You're looking like a little fella over here, yeah.
But I want to ask, like, as you get stronger, does it help with your drive at all?
Yes.
It does?
The big thing, I think you've seen me do it, box jumps.
Yes.
Dude,
your box jumps are nuts.
The box jumps and kind of just the whole... I even picked up distance after I got out of college, and so I was done in 2014. You transfer a couple times, you lose a bunch of credits. But anyway, yeah, like I just, I built these programs like mobility, flexibility, incorporated a bunch of box jumps. Box jumps correlates to distance. There's been studies and everything. And so the box jump, I've always been a good jumper, but even just staying consistent with it definitely helped distance.
Drop the vert, man.
Could you dunk in the rec?
Yeah.
What's the vert?
I don't know. I haven't done a vert test in forever. I don't know.
He knows what it is.
No, I don't.
Is it 40?
No.
Oh.
No. Come on, man.
It's up there. No. This is high.
I don't know.
I saw him doing box jumps. He's jumping.
But you knew what it was at one time.
So there's a difference in just standing there, like a two-step vert. I don't know, maybe 38.
Yeah.
But you act like 40 is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is, dude. That 2 inches is a lot.
He was jumping high as shit.
There's a difference in just standing there and jumping or one step, but running and jumping is makes a big difference.
So is it just like the fact, obviously you got to bear with me here, Matt. I'm not real smart with golf, but is it the thrust? Is that what it is that makes it help you with your drive or what?
It's just training like an athlete.
Gotcha.
You don't have to be like a football player or a basketball player to train like an athlete and be explosive. And that's like why I built the workouts that I did was I was doing, it was all golf specific stuff. Obviously it ties into other sports and rotational power and whatever. I used a lot of med ball
The thrust.
I mean, I know
That's
that.
real. He's right.
No, it's a good segue. Are you seeing anyone?
I am actually.
How's that going?
It's going great.
Yeah.
Back to the workout. Yes, those thrusts were in the gym with the med balls were very important to keeping the speed up. Because if you don't use it, you lose it.
Gotcha. On that as well. Calm down.
Sorry. Yeah, dude, grab them donuts.
Is it good?
How is it?
That's really good. Cinnamon and
Sure.
Drop who made them, man. Give her a shout out.
Yeah, Kelsey's baking some donuts, man.
you got any more?
She's got a shit ton of them in there. I need to get rid of them because they're hanging out on my hips right now.
Order up.
That box jump just lowered an inch just from that little donut right there.
It's all right.
He's 37 now.
I'm gonna do an extra. No. It's not 37 now. I promise you.
Matt, so I want to ask this question too, because honestly, obviously you're a very athletic guy, always been really athletic. I see other golfers that they're decent golfers, but they're just not as athletically gifted as you, or just naturally have the athleticism. How much do you think just your athleticism plays into your ability to do what you've done?
I mean, obviously quite a bit. Definitely fortunate. I mean, genes are. I can't help that. I mean, it was definitely fortunate. All of my siblings too. But the talents the God-given talents are for you to make the most of. And so, I don't know. Me personally, I tried to make the most of it, and on like the realm of like maybe somebody not as athletic, you can train yourself in certain movements and specific stuff.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm not. I'm looking past you.
He's looking right at me, dude.
I'm trying to keep.
There's nobody behind me.
I'm trying to keep it in warm, Buffett. But no, I mean just.
He's trying not to look at me.
No.
Do you think that's probably the only thing holding me back from being as good as you? Is something out of my control like genes, and that's it?
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. No,
Probably.
the flexibility is a huge thing. Like anybody can improve their flexibility. I wasn't flexible, but I improved it, and it helped me out a ton too. Not just me, but I mean flexibility.
You ever done yoga?
Yes.
Dude, so many people tell me to do yoga.
Yoga is
like hot yoga and stuff.
Dude, you would be amazed at some of the movements you can do and the positions you can get in, and
you can feel it when you're swinging the club.
Yeah,
damn.
Like rotation and. Obviously, I can't diagram it here, but I mean, you'd be amazed at just how much more flexibility, even just from yoga.
I gotta do that, dude.
And the thing is, stretching is boring. That's what everybody's like. Oh, I'm about to do that. I'm about to get on this and do the stretching.
Yeah,
it's freaking boring. But if you can get over the hump and get in a routine, that's the kicker.
Everyone I've talked to has told me that yoga is so much harder than they thought it would be.
Yeah,
every single person.
It's a workout.
Like every person.
I took it for a semester at middle, and it was. I got out of there and I was tired. I mean, I felt good. I wish I'd kept it up. I took yoga as an elective.
Dude, I bet
it was awesome.
Some cuties in there.
Man, I got to comment on that. So back.
They're not listening here. I promise.
They might be.
Well, the only thing that was odd about it.
I was waiting on that one guy to talk to me in yoga class, and he never did.
Here we are, 10 years later. Shoot.
The chicks are like a lot of naturalists that go to yoga from what I know.
Yeah.
Like the instructor.
Oh, like.
She had armpit hair.
Right.
It was a little bit different, but.
You liked it?
Oh, I'm not going to comment on that.
Didn't say no.
A little more on the hot yoga, like obviously it's 98 degrees or whatever, but I would feel like I would just jump in a swimming pool. That's how much I'd be sweating. And I felt fantastic after.
I bet. Damn. Good way to detox too, I bet.
Yeah.
You don't really drink, do you, Matt? Here and there.
Some.
Gotcha.
I've definitely drank more in the last couple of years than ever.
Yeah.
It's Michelob Ultra though, so does that count?
That doesn't count. It's water.
Yeah.
Mick Ultra ain't beer, is it? Hughes?
I mean, I don't drink, bro. I don't put that.
I have a margarita every now and then.
Yeah. Margaritas are good, man.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so we talked about a lot of stuff, but can we go back? Like I said, I want to ask, how early did you start playing golf?
I mean, I played at it from like age 7 to 10 or 11. Gotcha. Not like
didn't
consistent.
Take it super seriously.
No, not like hanging out at the country club or anything like that.
Yeah.
Middle school, 7th grade, I made the middle school team.
What middle school did you go to?
Central.
Okay, cool.
Before it was a magnet school. But yeah, made the middle school team, and I kind of started liking it more. I was still playing baseball, and then we had a membership at Cedar Crest.
Yeah.
Cedar Crest.
Yeah.
That set. So between 7th and 8th grade, I was shooting like 48 on 9 holes maybe, and in one summer improved to I shot even par at the end of the summer, which was a crazy improvement in just one summer. But I would literally go in the morning and get picked up at night, like almost every day of the summer.
Damn.
Stopped playing baseball, kind of just fell in love with golf, and I mean,
It's easy to do.
I know. That's when we met. I think it was probably 8th grade, maybe 7th grade.
Yeah.
7th or 8th grade.
I remember playing against you in middle school some.
I want to say, back to my memory, I think we played at Stones River. This is crazy. I remember this. You had a Kentucky golf bag.
Yeah, man.
And we started on number 4.
Yep.
And that was the first time we ever played together.
Hell yeah, dude.
Wow.
That's a long time ago.
God, that was a long time ago.
God, I probably took it to him that day.
Easy.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he's got a memory.
7th or 8th.
Man.
I think it was 7th grade.
That was, in middle school, Siegel Middle, we beat the hell out of everybody. And then we got in high school and it flipped. I went to Oakland and he went to Riverdale and they beat the hell out of us for 4 years instead of 2.
We almost had Lexus too.
No, dude, I didn't let that happen.
He had a zoning waiver and everything.
Lexus
They snatched it away.
Lexus had to slum it with me at Oakland, man.
They were recruiting at
They
Riverdale.
were. They were.
And then Siegel won everything else.
Yeah.
Siegel went to state our senior year. Wait, yeah, right?
Yes.
Yep. They sure did. At Riverbend, I think. But yeah, so.
No, I don't. You ain't got to think on that. It was at Riverbend.
I know.
I don't remember.
I watched you.
Yeah.
But so 7th and 8th grade improved a ton. High school was pretty consistent, improved a lot junior year, which was starting to get a couple looks. My high school coach, Webb Hutchings, you remember him?
Yeah, dude.
He's at Oakland.
Good guy.
Yeah. Brandon Burks was the coach too.
Yep.
I guess they were co-coaches.
You know Brandon Burks.
Brandon Burks, man.
Yeah.
But
let me plug Brandon for a second.
Go ahead.
Great. If you're looking to get a mortgage, Brandon's the guy.
Hey.
He's the fucking guy. Go.
But Webb went to Martin. He played golf at Martin.
Okay.
With UT Martin, which is where I started.
Yeah.
Went there my freshman year. If you know where Martin is, it's kind of the middle of nowhere.
West Tennessee.
Yes, the northwest corner of the state.
Northwest. I always thought it was Southwest.
They're in the OVC. But it just,
Were you like the Warbirds or the Eagles?
Skyhawks.
Skyhawks.
Yeah,
Yeah. What
Skyhawks.
a dumb name, dude.
Hey, they have a solid program now.
Yeah.
I had a good year, all of VC newcomer, but Martin wasn't for me. Like I didn't hunt, didn't wear camo, and that's all it is. I didn't drink much.
Yeah.
Not that I ever drank before I was 21.
Probably helped your golf game though. That's probably what you were doing out there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was y'all's home course out there?
We didn't really have one. I mean, we had one, but they were like.
That's like Oakland High School, dude. We didn't have a home
It
course.
was they weren't good. I mean, it was like a 6,200 yard course. Just,
Yeah.
Not good. But I transferred. To middle actually. That's where we met. With the intent of playing, didn't play. So I was here for a couple years in school. Got the opportunity to play at North Alabama. Met the coach at some random summer tournament in West Tennessee, ironically.
Damn.
And got there in 2011.
Now, do y'all remember the day y'all met?
I think I do.
I
think so.
I remember it.
We definitely got introduced by you.
I remember it. I
By you.
introduced y'all. We were at the rec center. Me and you were playing basketball up there regularly, and I saw him up there.
And then we started playing a lot.
So then we started playing, and I was like, dude, come meet my buddy Matt. That's who we played high school golf with.
And
So-
I had a nickname from Hughes, I think.
And he's like me. He jokes all the fucking time.
100%.
And
So-
I was like,
Go
oh
ahead.
man, this is my buddy Ryan. Ryan, this is my buddy, and he cuts me off. He goes, dipshit, and just held
because I was used to hearing, "Hey, it's a dipshit," or
Yeah.
whether it would be on the course or the court.
It just
or
held
whatever.
his hand out, man, and Ryan called him dipshit for years, man.
Probably still on your phone, is that? Maybe.
It could be,
For a while, it was there.
yeah.
It really was there.
And that sums you up though.
Thank you.
Not the dipshit part, but just your jokes.
Nice, thank you.
You like to cut up and have a good time.
I do like to cut up.
Yeah.
Time.
So
I can be serious sometimes, but
yeah, that's overrated.
I know.
This is why we got along.
It's the way to live, man.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, definitely lots of fun. We played a lot of basketball.
We played a lot of basketball.
God, my head was shaved, and that was. Oof.
I dunked a few times.
I know.
I remember that.
I think I threw you some lobs.
Threw me some lobs. Caught it behind the head one time.
Yeah.
We did. You were a shooter,
Shooter.
Yeah.
postman.
Yep. He remembers.
Barely 6 foot post man.
Hey, that's okay. We ran some people off the court.
We did.
Yeah.
We had some good runs,
playing
man.
unselfish basketball.
You think we can do it now?
I played last week.
Where'd you play?
The rec center.
Shit! I can't get him to play anymore, man.
I'll play, man. I will play.
You always say you're gonna get hurt. You're worried about you're gonna get hurt.
Just gotta own it. Just gotta
See-
be like whatever.
see how he sides
Just do a
just
little
then?
stretches. Do a few stretches.
Do some yoga. We'll do some
yeah.
yoga, then we'll hit the hoops.
You might be a little tired after that.
Bro, I want to get. I
Man,
want to start
that
playing.
would
You
be
play
so
regularly
good.
at MTSU?
I've played twice and like maybe 3 times in the last month.
Still some good games over there.
Yeah. There's not as many people.
Really?
COVID, I guess.
I'd love to get over there and play.
God, that's
I had a
so
membership
fun,
for a little bit.
That's some good cardio right there, man.
Man,
Full
it's-
court basketball.
Yeah, I'll
Oh.
play full court. I don't want to play half court though.
Yeah.
It's brutal. It sucks.
Half court's a lot.
What do you mean you don't play? You want to play full court? You don't play. You like to
Run.
run?
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's actually my least favorite part of doing it.
Of playing basketball,
Yeah.
running.
Hughes
running.
just wants to shoot.
I just want to shoot.
We'll just
bro.
post up.
Hit me in that corner. You know where I'll be.
I'll play the 5 now. I'll play the 5. You just play the 2 guard.
He's point guard.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Can you handle the ball?
I don't have the ball.
I can't handle the ball either.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
it's a mess.
we can recruit 2 more.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds good.
dude, I got a question for
Go
you.
for it.
What do you think is the biggest regret in your golf career, and why is it losing to me the few times that you did in high school?
I know that's funny. My memory's good, but I don't remember that part.
Oh,
It's kind of foggy. It's kind of
yeah, I
foggy.
bet it is.
It's kind of foggy. Our final tournament, you won though. You beat me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Was that regions?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
At
it
Riverbend.
was. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. 71, 72. We don't even go to state. The golf was so deep back then.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is now.
Shot
but
1 under, didn't get the state.
Who did go to state that year
Siegel as a team.
as a team?
Brett Patterson won region.
Good guy.
Yep. Awesome dude. I was in his wedding.
Good guy.
Who was the best guy?
I saw him at the rec too a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Who do you guys think was the best guy you played with in high school around that time?
Me, it's
graduated?
Millard.
Yeah,
It's for
definitely-
me,
definitely
Millard.
Jason.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, he's top 2 or 3. I mean, he's
Millard is solid.
yeah.
He was good in high school.
He's. I told him the story on. I think I told him. I don't know if I said it in the podcast or what. I remember the first time I played with Millard was at Siegel Middle School tryouts at.
Yeah, he went to Siegel Middle.
Yeah. So he was an 8th grader, clearly established. I mean, he was shooting 1 or 2 under, you know, and we got paired together. I was just trying to make the team. Like I knew I was gonna make it, but you know, I was shooting low 40s, it maybe creeping into the high 30s if I had a really good round. We got paired together. We're on hole number 5 at Stone River.
okay.
Water going down the left side. He had the Titleist J driver.
God, what a great driver.
Remember that?
Yeah.
If you had the J, you knew what you were fucking doing. This man
That thing had
stripes
grooves in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stripes it up the right side, little baby draw to the center.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I was watching, I was like, everything they said is real, man. He's
Shoot.
just as good as advertised.
Reality check, baby.
Bro,
Reality check.
there's levels, man. There's levels to it. He's a
Yeah.
hell of a player.
Yeah, he
Great dude, too.
had a good he had a good college career.
Y'all still run around together quite a bit, right?
We lived together.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
At Indian Hills, right? Okay. Yeah.
Do y'all ever hustle people on the golf course?
No.
No, but dude, if
Dude,
they,
you know what's funny?
They couldn't beat Indian Hills if they did that. They all fucking know them.
No,
yeah.
we live together, but we don't play together much.
Really?
No. People are like, what's Jason doing? I don't know. I'm serious.
Do y'all hang at least?
Some.
Not.
Not like, I mean, we don't sit there and be like, oh man, how's your day?
What's he do? What's he doing now?
So he had Corn Ferry status until this past season. He was on a medical.
Yeah.
Didn't quite
He's
retain
back.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't quite retain it.
Is he feeling better? Like,
I think he has good days and bad days.
yeah. That back's hard.
Is this the guy that qualified for the U.S. Open?
Yeah.
Yes. And then DQ'd himself. Driving.
You talking about some integrity?
Yeah.
Yeah. He and Ryan Pearson were an hour down the road to Pinehurst, 2014. And something was just sitting ill in his stomach, and he called the USGA and was like, "Hey, I got to DQ myself and withdraw."
That's a man you can trust.
That's
it was all
integrity.
over Golf Channel, and
I'm telling you, anybody that talks to him, he's a great guy.
You could Google it.
He's as humble as they come. To be as good as he is,
Yeah.
he could be a dick if he wanted to. He's so humble.
we were playing it was a Florida Pro, some Florida mini tour, probably 2016.
Yeah.
Me, Jason, and Lexus got paired together.
Oh my gosh.
It was fun. It was for.
I bet y'all had a blast.
And
Who came out on top?
honestly, I think we all 3 missed the cut. Probably because we were dicking around.
So they're playing on a mini tour.
We had a fourth also.
These are three of the best golfers that I've ever known personally, and they're in a tournament together, and they all three missed the cut. It just shows you how good these freaking guys are out there.
There was whoever the fourth was, because obviously it had her name and then hometown.
Yeah.
The guy was like, 3 guys from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. What the heck? And whatever, the other guy playing with, I don't even know who it was. He was nice, but it was foursomes, and none of us played well. But back to the integrity part. So there's a bunch of weird rules in golf, like if you break a tree branch on a backswing,
Antiquated rules.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I don't know, Jason hit one left on some par 5, and there's like a branch or sticks or something behind him, and he broke one off in his backswing, and we got up on the green, and I was like, okay, nice par save. He's like, oh man, that's a bogey. I broke a tree branch, like way off in the trees with nobody even around him. And
well, so hold on, that's a stroke even if it's on your actual swing.
I don't know. Whatever the case was, it was a penalty. Whether it was a practice swing. Or whatever.
I guess
he was just over there by himself.
Right.
It wasn't like...
And nobody would have ever known.
No.
But he would have known, and that's enough for him.
He knew that rule.
Yeah.
Well, y'all got that. I mean, he says he doesn't know the rules, but he knows the rules 10 times better than the average person. Y'all have to know the rules.
For the most part.
Yeah.
And just on the... I mean, it was a freaking Florida Pro event. Florida Pro, whatever the tour is called. I don't even know what it's called. And... it's not like you're playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars or anything. You're playing for the winner gets like $3,000.
Yeah.
And whatever play, let's say he would have been in 30th place. I mean, he might have got his money back, $300 or something. But still, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a good dude.
Pretty neat. We played another. We were paired together another time, and I still swear to this day we didn't hit from the wrong tee box. But it was me, Jason, and another guy. Played the whole round, no issue. The next day, this third player, who is a known cheater, came back and told the tour director, like, hey, we played from the wrong tee box yesterday. We need to be disqualified. And this guy cheated in Q school. I'm not going to say his name. But
Patrick Reed?
No. But this guy cheated in Q school, and I swear to this day that we didn't hit from the wrong tee box. Jason thinks we did because it's on his mind. And so we all three got DQ'd.
Well, he got a guilty conscience. So
exactly.
Might be clouded a little.
I guess. But literally, I had already finished my second round the next day. There's only a 2-day tournament. And the tour director's like, Matt, can I talk to you? I'm like, yeah. I didn't know it was coming.
Right.
He's like, yeah, so-and-so said that you guys hit from the wrong tee box yesterday. Is that true? And he walked me through it, and I'm like, I don't think so. And it wasn't like Jason was leading the tournament, come to find out, because he was in one of the final groups.
Yeah.
The second round. And they came and talked to him or something on like 13, and he DQ'd himself.
Damn.
With the lead. Yeah, it's crazy. I should go back and try to find that, but
it's hard to find integrity like that, man.
Anyway,
it is.
It was. I don't know.
How easy is it to cheat on some of this stuff? Is it really easy to cheat?
I mean, I guess it can be, but
I mean, I remember in high school golf, this happened several times because you kept your opponent's scorecard. Obviously, we're playing like Lebanon or Warren County or something like that. We're playing Siegel and Riverdale and Blackman. I know all those guys. They're not. I mean, like, for one, they're good dudes, but even if they weren't, I mean, I know them. They're not gonna, they're not gonna argue with me. Like, they're not gonna try to cheat. But like those lesser known schools, I mean, that guy would tell me straight up. He'd be like, I had a par, and I'm like, you had a 5. And he's like, I don't think so. And I'm like, I watched all the shots.
Yeah.
I can count to 5 pretty well.
Yep.
I mean, that happened 4 or 5 times to me, probably.
Probably so.
And it's uncomfortable because you're like, dude, I got to put down 5. Like, I saw it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's what you think. You know what I mean? They won't ever say, you're always trying to cheat. You know what I mean? But they'll just say, well, maybe I did.
Yeah.
Any golfer that plays with any regularity, you know what you made on every hole.
Yeah.
You know every shot. You didn't lose count. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. You screw up or a hint of cheating once, you got a bad rap from now on.
You got a stink on you.
Nobody trusts you. It's terrible. The guy that me and Jason played with in that tournament, I mean, he was over looking for his ball. I remember this instance that was borderline in the hazard, and we were both right there with him the whole step of the way because we're not letting him throw a ball down. Because at this time we're playing for money. Like, hey, we're trying to.
And he was probably looking for that
maybe,
way too.
Maybe this is my theory. This is another reason I think he DQ'd all of us, or at least himself. Even though we all got DQ'd, he didn't want to post the bad score. Which, if it's true, maybe, but it's a possibility. It's a theory. We won't call it a factual thing. But
damn. Speaking of scores, what do you think is the best round of your life? Now, I know that might not necessarily be the lowest. It might be a lower score at a harder course or whatever. But when you, in your mind, what do you think the best round of golf you played?
Tournament round?
Let's go with tournament. Because that's when the stakes are the highest.
It was, I think it was 2015. It was pretty new, pro. Maybe fall 2015. There's a guy who used to play on tour. His name's Cliff Kresge.
Okay.
I only shot 4 under, but the conditions were just atrocious.
Terrible.
Oh, it was raining. It was windy.
Yeah.
It was in Kingsport, Tennessee, East Tennessee.
Of course.
Ridgefield. It was one of my first tournaments. I was playing with. Anyway, birdied the first 2 holes, steady, got up and down, putted great. Didn't make a single bogey that round. So that was the first round. Was one back of the lead after the first round, so second round in the final group. But I remember I was just getting up and down from everywhere in bad conditions and making putts, and it was pretty fun. The guy I was playing with was like, "Holy shit, you're the best player I've ever seen." And I'm like, "I promise you I'm not. I promise you I'm not."
Just like a basketball hoop some days, don't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. And the next day I was playing with that same guy. I shot 66. I think he shot 67, par 70. And the other guy the next day was Jonathan Hodge.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know.
He played at, holy crap, he might have played at UTC.
Yeah.
He's a little older than us. But he's had Korn Ferry status for, probably 6 or 7 years.
I feel like that'd be a good place to go to college for golf.
UTC.
They get to play all those good courses down, like the Honors, Council Fire, all that?
Probably a couple times a year at least. Gosh. I know Council Fire probably often.
Yeah.
Honors, I'm sure, a few times.
That's dope.
But I saw him a couple years ago, and there was an up and down kind of in line with the tournament. But there was an up and down I made. I hit a 7-iron way left on a par 3. It's sitting up on like these branches with a tree in front of me, hit some flop shot to 15 feet and made the putt. But I didn't make a bogey until the 33rd hole of the tournament. Made a bogey, birdied next hole. And I'm standing on 18T, tied for the lead, and I leaked one a little bit right. Got up there, we couldn't find it. I was like, oh my God. This is the last hole of the tournament. So I had to go back, re-tee, hit it down the middle, hit an 8-iron to 4 feet, made bogey. Still lost by 1, but that first round was like just everything was clicking.
Perfect.
Tournament round, yeah. I mean, if it was on, it felt like a 10 under at Indian Hills or something, but it was.
What's your lowest outside of tournament golf?
I have shot 60, but it's not a hard course. I mean, it's like pitch and putt.
Where was this?
There's a couple courses in West Tennessee. Like I said, short course.
60.
What's your best on Indian Hills?
So what, 10, 11 under, 12 under, something like that?
Yeah. 62.
62.
It's been a while though.
So there's gonna be a lot of people that watch us that play Indian Hills. So there's your bar right there, 60 fucking 2.
Dude, and I'll tell you what.
Good luck, motherfuckers.
He came and joined mine foursome probably 3 or 4 months ago, right?
Yeah.
And I told you about this, and I mentioned it on the first podcast. He hits it a long way.
Yeah.
He does. Which a guy that plays professional golf hitting it a long way probably doesn't shock anyone to hear that. And it was impressive, absolutely. But I don't know if it's because I've been around golf a lot or it's something I struggle with, but his short game was incredible. Like, he was giving himself very easy shots. I think the first hole he played with us, or the first hole he birdied was you started on 11, but you didn't play that hole. You started on 12.
I think I just hit a wedge shot.
Yeah. But the first hole you birdied was 14. He hit his driver 30, 40 yards off the front of the green on 14. So he probably hit it 320, 30 yards, something like that. But from then on out, he set himself up with a tee ball for little wedge shots on every hole. But the shots that he was hitting them in there 3, 4, 5 feet with these wedge shots. Just timed perfectly. And it's his home course, you know what I mean? Like, he's comfortable with it. I get it. But the guys that I was playing with, you know, they were all watching him hit his tee ball, and they were like, oh, my God, like, it's so long, da-da-da-da. And it's impressive. It is. But, like, he drove the ball over the green on 16, a short par 4 on Indian Hills. The pin's on the front. He's hitting a shot. It's winter out there. The grass is dormant. I mean, it's tight. It's a tight lie. Very hard to chip off of. And he's hitting a shot off a downslope, off a tight lie, onto a downslope on the green. He hits it to 3 feet. And they're all thinking about the tee ball going over the green. And I'm like, that nobody understands how insane that
That
chip
was
shot
that
is.
was definitely the best shot of the day.
Exactly. And like he hit it, and as soon as he hit it, I was like, "What the fuck, man?" Like,
Yeah.
I mean, just I don't know. It would have taken me 100 shots to hit one that close. I mean, the degree of difficulty was, and it doesn't get appreciated because it's a short shot, and people hit decent chip shots sometimes, but all chip shots are not created equal. I mean, some you're probably looking over thinking, "I'm gonna make this." You know what I mean? I can give it a run right
100%.
here. And that one, I promise you weren't thinking, "I'm gonna try to make this." You're thinking, "Fuck, I got that down slope. I just want to get it within 10 feet."
The thing was I went up there and looked and where I needed to land it.
Yeah.
Which that's important in
Right.
my opinion. Pick a spot to land
Walk us through that shot.
it. Okay. Yeah. So that was 16 Indian Hills. Obviously, you know it. Are you familiar with Indian
played
Hills?
it one time.
Decent. Okay. So it's a reachable par 4. It's probably I don't know.
300
Yeah.
yards.
280.
He hit
Anyway,
3 whatever the fucking green.
pin was front right. There's some mounds on the right. I hit it a little long right, but it was like you said, downslope, tight lie, onto a downslope. But I probably had to land it on a spot the size of this plate, and just practice swings. Practice swings are important, like trying to get your tempo down. Made sure I had my tempo down and take a deep breath and hit the shot. And
Now,
commit to the shot. That's the huge thing.
Is that normal? Do you often, when you have a shot like that, it's important for you to walk up and try to visualize, like, this is where I want the ball to land?
Especially if you can't see the landing area.
Yeah.
Yeah. It helps you gauge on the distance too.
Right.
On how far you need to carry it, which is the huge thing.
Yeah.
You asked me earlier kind of about short game and whatnot. The biggest thing that I see, like with amateur golfers, is their tempo. It's always one speed on chipping. Like the takeaway is always so quick.
Yeah.
If you can slow it down to almost slow motion, it's going to feel like it is slow motion, but it's really not.
Right.
Watch a PGA Tour event. You'll see how slow they take the club back. You can control the distance and the pace so much more if you slow it down.
Yeah.
Think about this. Let's say you swing a driver 100 miles an hour.
Right.
Your club speed is 100 miles an hour. The ball speed's going to be 150. And the ball's traveling 150 miles an hour through the air. If you swing at 120, the ball speed's going to be like 175. It's the same concept like with chipping and the finesse shots. If you're swinging it slower, the club speed when you hit the ball is slower for a chip also.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it travels slower through the air. That's why you can hit some of those high, soft landers because they don't have as much energy in the ball to roll out.
Right.
And it's the same concept whenever you think about it going all through each club.
Yeah.
You're swinging the ball slower or swinging the club slower, the ball's going to travel slower. That's where it's so much easier to control distance and chipping.
Yeah, but it seemed like your contact was so good. It seemed like you just let the bounce do the work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that's the
Exactly.
bounce of the club. All his contact was just very crisp.
That comes with practice, but learning how to use the bounce is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Everybody, you can go see 19 out of 20 people have shaft lean.
Explain, dumb it down what we're talking about with the bounce.
So whenever you lay a club down, you can, like, let's say you lay it open for a flop shot.
Yeah.
The leading edge, it's either going to be close to the ground, higher up, whatever. And so the bounce is on the back of the club for you to use with the ground for consistent contact. That's what it's there for. That's literally what they put it in there for.
Right.
And if you can learn how to use that the correct way without too much shaft lean. Now, shaft lean is when you have your hands far forward because you think you got to hit the ball first. Using the bounce makes chipping so much easier. I didn't learn that until after my golf career.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, which is sad.
What made you, who taught you that?
I had some instructors that taught it some.
Yeah. But it just didn't really register until then?
Yeah. It's crazy. And then even the ball speed, the chipping ball speed.
Right.
But even just like 2020, I didn't play that much golf. I was kind of burnt. But last year, I started practicing some early in the spring. Kind of saw some improvement again. I was like, okay, kind of got the itch again. Yeah. And that's where I literally learned how to use the bounce a lot more and be a lot more consistent with the chipping. Yeah. Which I love practicing chipping.
But now, as good as he is at chipping, which we've just talked about, when I ran into you at Indian Hills, he was on the practice green chipping. He had chipped 50 or 60 balls that I had seen. They were all crowded around the hole. So even as good as he is at chipping, he still woke up that morning and was like, you know what? I need to go hit 100, 200 chip shots. So these guys that come out here, these weekend warriors, they can't break 100. They go out there And I understand their goals and his goals, obviously very different.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see that. You know what I mean? You don't see the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You just see when he comes out there and he's hitting chip shots left and right, and they're great. But it's like, man, it's almost muscle memory to an extent.
Practicing-
You hit so many of them.
Practicing with intent is a huge thing. You can get out there and beat balls, but what's the point if you don't have an intent? Like like I talked about, landing it on that spot,
Right.
Or hitting this type of shot. If you don't have like a plan with each shot, which I'm guilty of it too. I'm not.
Right.
I don't every single shot. So I'm like, oh, I got to land on this circle. But if you do practice with intent, for the most part, you're going to see improvement.
Yeah. Can you have me one of them waters right there?
I got you.
Yeah. Before we get off of practice,
Boss.
You want one?
Matt, so
Ooh, that's crisp.
are there ever
I might have one too.
Yeah.
have there ever been times where you just like are basically? Let me preface this by saying, first of all, I've heard pro golfers that say that they don't practice. They don't practice. Just go out there and play. I've heard guys that are really good say that they do a lot of their practicing just playing a lot. I want to know from you, what's the value of, I'm thinking if I really want to get better at golf, I probably need to go out there for like 6 hours and work. Have you ever done that, or like is that something? Okay.
So it's just, I wouldn't say it's preference. It's really how you feel you can improve the most. Like Jason, like he likes to play. That's how he gets better. You learn how to score. You learn how to manage yourself on the course. And then some guys are range junkies, or all they like to do is practice. They feel like they get more out of that. But like I said, with the intent is the big thing. You can go bang balls for 6 hours, but if you don't have an intent to get better, if you're just doing it to go whack balls.
Well, if you're repeating the same wrong motion over and over again.
I mean, kinda. You're not gonna. Every swing's not gonna be perfect.
Right.
But literally, some type of plan of action or intent is the main thing. Even if you are just playing.
Yeah.
Like I've been through phases where I feel like I get more out of playing, because you really do learn how to score, and you just kind of stay sharp on course management.
Yeah.
Where to miss it, thinking your way around the course. You got to train your mental game too. That was something I never did.
Now, on that note, in terms of preparation, say, all right, I want you to give us like kind of the walkthrough. Say you have a noon tee time, and it's a big tournament.
Okay.
Just tell us what time you wake up, what time you get to the course. Walk us through everything you do leading up to that tee time.
You want it to be as routine as possible.
Right.
Not that it always was for me. Even now I look back and it's just like, God, I could have done so many things differently or better or more efficiently or more of a routine. But the reason you have a routine is so you're comfortable in those situations. That's why you have a pre-shot routine. That's why when you're practicing like your breaths before you putt, whatever it is, the routine is where you have it in place to perform under pressure. No matter if it's a game with the buddies, game in a tournament round, whatever it is. That's the reason you have a routine, is so you perform under pressure. And that pressure shot, I think it was Charlie Woods, Tiger's son, that said that, or maybe it's Tiger that tells his son that. You're going to hit the same shot whether there's 1,000 people watching or none. Mm-hmm. So when you have the routine, that's... Yeah. So
that makes sense.
But to answer your question, I was never great on a routine before a tournament. I had a normal range session that I would do.
Right.
But in terms of some stuff before that, there was never like, 7 minutes doing this or 10 minutes doing this.
Do you cover all avenues? Like, would you hit every club in your bag? Would you chip? Would you putt? Would you chip and putt?
I typically chipped first,
right,
just to kind of get some feel.
Right.
Usually putted last. I did always end the range session before the round with hitting the club that I was going to tee off with.
Ooh, I like that.
And that's pretty common. That's super common. Because I'm teeing off with a 3-iron or whatever it is. I want to hit a high fade, and so you execute it before you end that range session.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty standard. You'll find pretty much everybody on tour doing that, I would say.
Damn, that's wild.
You can do that even if you hit range balls in your Sunday game or Saturday game or whatever.
The last thing I hit is driver every time, and that's
if you're hitting driver off the tee, then
it makes sense.
Then you know what hole you're about to play.
Yeah.
So
you're right. It makes sense. It's funny you say that, because it's like you hear about coaches harping on like free throw shooting, in practice.
Yep.
And it's like
they're free.
Well, you want to get into this routine that you do every time. So like he said, in high stress situations, you have comfort because you've done this so many times.
Yeah.
So even when it's late in the game, there's 2 minutes left and you're down by 2 and you're at the free throw line, even you're exhausted, you played 27 minutes, it's muscle memory. You've done this a million times. You don't have to think about it as much or at all, really.
Yeah.
You're just going through the motions.
Look at all the NBA guys.
Right.
They all have a routine.
Yeah.
I mean, and they harp on that. That's why. Giannis has improved this year.
Yeah.
He hit some clutch ones the other night against Brooklyn because that's a routine. Obviously, high profile athlete, but still, it helps the routine. That's part of the whole process and everything.
Do you think, and I know you do think this, but I want you to harp on it, as far as the mental aspect, like your attitude, like how big of a role does that play in your golf game?
I mean, that's more important than the physical part to an extent. I mean, if you're not mentally prepared, or if you lose it on the course, you're not going to have success.
Right.
Not as much, especially. A friend of mine, he played with me at UNA, Connor Gotze, this past year at Q School. He doubled the first hole, bogey the second hole. He's in almost last place.
Yeah. And you just
ended up finishing.
irritated.
It's 4 rounds.
Right.
And so a lot of people, they'd be like, well, shit, I screwed up. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like they just give up. But he ended up finishing the top 10, got his Korn Ferry card for the whole season. It's pretty impressive.
Wow.
And not, I'm talking like
to start like that.
not on an easy course too. Somewhere in Savannah, the weather was terrible. I mean, you could have let everything affect you.
Right.
Between the weather, a bad start,
Yeah.
all the guys lapping you already.
Yeah. And
then that's where the mental game comes in.
And to avoid playing that victim card, like everything's going
yeah.
against me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just not my year.
Nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear that shit.
Nope.
I'm guilty of it too. I've bitched and moaned plenty.
Not you.
Right. Yeah. But no, it's funny to reflect and see like, man, could have done a bunch of things different. But the mental game definitely gets overlooked. You got to train your body and train your physical game. The mental game is just as important, if not more important.
Which is crazy, dude, because you're really smart and not that good at golf.
Yeah. Thanks for pointing that
Wild.
out. Thank you. We
Guess
appreciate
it's
it.
guess it's not that
That was
important.
helpful, productive. Matt, so me being big dumb golf guy over here. Going back
Way to
more
call
to,
him out.
We're going to refer to that the rest of the episode. Big dumb golf guy talking now.
So I kind of break down it into like 4 different sort of segments. So I look at it as like off the tee, and then your iron play, your short game, putting. In those 4, which one would you say is your strongest? Driving. Okay.
Off the tee, yeah.
Awesome. Next question. You were talking about the chip in earlier. I've seen like some pros that they'll like chip with like an 8 or a 9 or something like that. What do you chip with?
It's all situational,
Situational, okay.
If some guys, it's not as common anymore. That was kind of old school, where if you had a bunch of green, you just kind of chip a little 8-iron to run it up to the hole. A lot more guys will chip with a sand wedge or a lob wedge now, even if they do have green.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's all situational. It depends on everything. I mean, the wind, the green firmness, the direction of the grain. Like I said, how much green you do have to work with, the speed of the green, and then just confidence of the shot, the lie, everything. And so it's completely
Now, if you had a
situational.
shot like that at Indian Hills, say you're 3 feet off the green. So there's 3 feet of fringe, and then you have 30 feet of green to work with. Not a lot of slope. Don't worry about that. I know you're thinking about some of them run, or is a lob wedge even a possibility at that point?
I mean, it's a possibility, yeah. It depends on the lie. If there's nothing in front of me, I'll probably putt it, honestly.
Same.
Yeah.
So look at that Texas wedge, baby.
That's right. But it's like I said, it's all situational. If the lie's good,
Right.
if it's smooth in front.
Now, with that lob in your hand from that distance, are you looking to carry it all the way to the hole, or are you going to bump and run it? What are you going to do with the lob wedge?
It would be
there?
kind of just a low little, just a little.
Oh, a little low spinner.
Yeah, not like a grab the brakes, but just like maybe a little grab, release a little bit. But that's something I practiced a ton.
That's sexy.
Not necessarily. I mean, that's not every time going to happen. Depends on the firmness and the wind and everything. But in the grain, if it's into the grain, I probably put it.
I'm putting it in that situation no matter what firmness of the grain.
Hey,
Literally, no matter
depends.
anything.
It just depends.
Yeah.
It's a shot that chipping I'm a lot more comfortable with now that I can use the bounce or know how to use the bounce. But it'd probably be with a 52 though, maybe not a 60.
Yeah.
It just depends. It's all situational.
Oh fuck! What was I about to say? Damn it! I just lost it.
Dead air.
That's not good.
Okay. Who are some of your favorite golfers?
Favorite to watch?
Yeah.
I like Spieth.
Okay.
He gets a bad rap sometimes just with his comments.
I love his honesty, man.
Yeah.
I love how he talks to the ball in the air. Mm-hmm. You know exactly what's going on with him.
Mm-hmm. That's probably going to cause ruffle some feathers. Obviously, I like watching Tiger. I do like Phil too.
You like Phil Mickelson?
Yeah,
he's like my favorite.
Yeah, he was pretty stupid to say the stuff about the Saudi like that. It didn't get responded, or the reception wasn't obviously as well. There was bad reception, but he has some points. I mean, you can't really say the stuff about looking past the way they treated people or
checkered past,
whatever.
Yeah.
In terms of the Saudis, but all those guys for the most part are out there for money. They're fortunate they can play golf and make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And I mean, Phil is the biggest benefiter from the Tiger era. He's admitted that. It's true. The Tiger boom, just with endorsements and purses and everything. Phil is the second richest player because of that.
Mm-hmm.
After Tiger, just because of all the money that was generated from Tiger. But I do like to watch Phil. He's entertaining. Tiger, obviously, just because he's the GOAT. I've played. This is kind of off topic, not really off topic, but the best attitude I've ever seen on the golf course that I played with, Harold Varner.
Okay.
Dude is
Jordan guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He, me, Connor, who I mentioned earlier,
right.
Harold, and Lonto Griffin. He's on tour now too. He's one on tour. We played Sawgrass probably maybe 4 years ago now. But me and Connor were playing, I think Lonto and Varner. We were winning. We're on the back nine, and they were down. I don't know how much, not too much, $100 or something. But Varner wasn't playing well, but his attitude was so good.
Yeah.
And you'll hear everybody, if you ever read an article about it, they'll talk about how good his attitude is on the course and just in general. They were losing. He was like, man, I just love this shit. I just love this shit. Just out here, it was 70 degrees. I remember this. I was on a hole 11 at Sawgrass, par 5.
Yeah.
He's like, I love this shit. This is awesome.
Damn,
and but he wasn't hitting it great, blah blah blah. But just, I don't know.
You don't
Best
appreciate
I've ever
that.
seen.
You don't
Yeah.
appreciate the little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even, this guy's playing on one of the most renowned courses in the world at TPC Sawgrass. But sometimes I have to take a step back and the other day I was playing with my dad and two of his buddies. And I was playing bad. I wasn't playing good. But it was a Friday afternoon. It was 65. I got to thinking about it and I was like, dude, it's 2 o'clock on a Friday. I'm playing golf. It's 65 degrees. And the worst thing about it is that I'm playing bad. Man, I'm not appreciating the moment right now. There's some dude in a coal mine right now, hunched over, doing back-breaking labor. I'm out there in a country club playing golf. I mean, even with your boys at Smyrna, to get all your friends together and play golf, that's a good time, man. I mean, okay, at the end of the day, you lose bragging rights, lose a few dollars or whatever.
Lunch money.
Yeah, I mean, 20 years from now, you remember if you won or lost. You just remember all the time you spent out there with your friends. Man.
Yeah, it's fun.
Puts it into perspective.
It's
and if he's thinking like that, Harold Varner, who's played for
100%. He's
high stakes.
He's kept his card every year.
There's no reason we can't think like that.
He's playing his first Masters this week too. He won the Saudi
He won
International
2 or 3 days ago, didn't he? Or is that the long putt? Did he make the long putt?
Yeah. Probably 2 months ago, maybe a month
Dude,
ago.
That putt took 20 seconds to get to the hole.
Yeah, it was
he made a
100
bomb.
feet.
Yeah, for the win.
It was sick. But just I remember that day.
You were rooting him on that day, weren't you?
Yeah, I remember that day specifically, because Connor made a comment too. He's his attitude is awesome.
Yeah.
You should pay attention to this, and I did, and it was, I don't know, it stuck with me before. It stuck with me for a while. People have asked me that too, who's the coolest dude you ever played with? And I, maybe not necessarily coolest, but just along those lines of, I don't know about coolest, but just the best attitude. I guess it all ties together.
Yeah,
definitely him. I played with some stinkers too, obviously, who just are miserable to play with. But
does that bring you down at all?
Yeah, can.
Yeah,
it can.
Okay.
I mean, I've caught myself just trying not to be as much of a shithead. Because as you alluded to earlier, just the attitude in high school golf wasn't the best. And it's funny because I can admit that. It wasn't great, but it improved over the years, I guess. It's definitely a lot better now. Yeah,
I don't think you would have had the success if it didn't,
Success is a light term, but...
Well, I mean, you've had more success than, everybody but 0.1% of golfers, honestly. I mean...
It was, it was definitely improved. There's still some days, but
What if you can break par? You're in the top, like, what, 1% or something like that? 2%?
I don't know.
It's something like that. It's something ridiculous.
Do you even shoot above par anymore?
Yeah,
You do?
yeah.
Oh.
Shot 82 2 days ago.
Where at?
It was a hard course, but still.
Dude.
Atlanta Athletic Club.
Oh, man.
That is a brutal course.
Hmm.
I think Scott Wallace is a member there.
Really?
I think so.
I haven't seen him in a
Somebody said
long
that.
time,
I
man.
haven't either. We played back to the golf, helping you out in the workforce. Went with a couple of doctors down there, and
Yeah. Beat their ass around the course.
well, yeah. but no, like getting to go play cool places like that, and sometimes there's some trade off. Like I'll get us on somewhere like that they don't have access to, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat. But Atlanta Athletic Club is.
That's like is that where Bobby Jones grew up playing? Didn't he like from that?
Was that Eastlake?
Oh, it was
I don't
East
know.
Lake, wasn't it?
I don't
You're
know.
right. It was
I don't
East
know.
Lake.
Atlanta Athletic hosted the PGA in 2011.
Yeah.
That's when Keegan Bradley beat Jason Duffner in the playoff.
Okay.
But back to Phil made a comment that week. He's like, I don't know how the members enjoy playing this place because it's so hard. Every
Yeah.
par 3 is 200 plus over water. I mean, literally. I played the back tees, and one par 3 was 240, one was 233, one was like 200. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Like he's right, because average golfer can't fly the ball that far, especially on a par
I'd be
3.
busting out that new stealth for this part.
I mean, seriously, he it makes a lot more sense now. He took a lot of ridicule back then too.
Yeah.
But that course.
Hey,
is
I think
brutal.
Indian Hills' par 3s are hard.
They are.
I would just lay up to the water. Just keep laying up to the water. And then
Shoot,
Nah, you can't do that, bro.
then you got to fly at 120 yards over the water.
I'll be damned if I lay it up on a par 3. If I hit it in the water, so be it.
Matt, I'm lucky if I
can't-
shoot 110.
I
So
can't do that.
That's all right. Room for improvement.
lots of room.
Hey, who would your dream foursome be?
Dream foursome. Not to get too much into politics, probably just George W. Bush.
Okay.
I don't get into politics, but
You'd have to keep score. I don't know if you can count or not.
haha. I read his autobiography, and it was pretty good, and kind of, I mean, every president's going to have stuff you like and don't like, and
Yeah.
whatever. But I think he's a classy guy, and after reading his book, just talking about family and some of the decisions, the book is called Decision Points, but just some of the decisions he made during presidency, before his presidency, to give up drinking for his family and stuff like that. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So whenever somebody asks me that, that's usually my answer.
That's one.
That's it.
Dream foursome.
4, 2 more. I mean, probably Tiger. Don't you love hearing that?
Dude. I wish I had an ass now.
You said it.
And maybe one of his 17 mistresses could join you.
Maybe. Is that all there were?
No, I don't
17?
know more than that. Honestly.
One more.
I'll play, dude. You don't have to ask
Okay,
me.
come on.
Yeah,
you
I'll
can
play.
Okay.
That way you'll win. You know what I mean? If he gets me in there, he won't be the highest score.
Michael Jordan be a good one to get in there.
Yeah.
He's a good golfer too.
He's a gambler too, doesn't
Yes,
he?
he
He
is.
throws some money around on the course.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Key and Peele episode?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, you got to watch it. Where he takes his managers, like everything his manager has.
No, I haven't
Oh,
seen
you
that.
got to watch it.
I haven't
It's
seen that.
hilarious.
They're funny though. Key and Peele's hilarious.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, damn, man.
So yeah, so there's my answer. I know you didn't like one of them, but
Nah, I don't like Tiger. I'd play with you if
You got a
asked,
Nike
though,
shirt
I
on.
guess. Yeah, dude. They don't even rep him anymore. They dropped him.
what?
No, it's not true. But he doesn't play their clubs anymore. But nobody does. 'cause
Nobody
they don't
does.
make 'em.
They don't
But
make them. They don't make the ball either.
If he was a real one, if he was loyal, he'd play the Nike Vapors in Augusta this
Oh
weekend.
man, what a no comment on that. They weren't great. The ball was okay. The Nike ball,
Was it?
yeah,
I don't remember that much of it really.
but the equipment.
It was like a Nike One. Wasn't that called like Nike One?
That was
or
one of the
something
first
like that?
ones. It
Yeah,
might have been the
yeah.
first one.
I remember that now a little bit.
Random question.
Go for
Thing
it.
I was going to ask earlier. And I want to ask you this because I just want to see how rare the knowledge really is. We learned on a previous episode with Robert, as he mentioned, the superintendent. Do you know what a stent meter is?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you known?
This is a bad question to ask him.
I mean, I've never seen one, but I know what it is
I got you.
to measure the speed of the greens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you known that? Long time?
Pretty well. A long time. Now.
Okay.
High school, maybe.
Okay. Because there were some guys that had been around golf for a long time, and they were saying, "I've never heard of that."
Yeah, that's how they measure the speeds of the greens.
Yeah. Okay.
What did he talk about?
He talked to us about golf course management. It was a good episode. I
It
learned
was
a
really
shit ton.
interesting.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. He's just gave us a perspective that we didn't otherwise have. There's just a lot that goes into setting up and everything else that I didn't know.
Like the type of grass that goes on the greens and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty neat. Like the different types of green, like
Yeah. So it's a special. It's like a hybrid.
Tiff Eagle,
Mini Verde,
Champion
shit
Verde,
like that.
Mini Verde. There's like
Yeah.
a hybrid bent something.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
They manufacture the shit in the lab. And,
Nuts.
yeah.
I've never even played on the manufactured bent or the hybrid anything. Not that I know of.
If they manufacture it, why can't they manufacture some bent that can survive in the South?
Seriously, that's it.
I love
that's
bent
why.
greens,
That's
dude,
why.
so much.
I grew up on bent, and now all the courses we played
They're
are
all
Bermuda.
That's what I said in that podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, I can remember going to the beach with my dad and him being like, "These are Bermuda greens. They're a little different."
Little
And I get on them and I'd be
furry.
like, "What is this?" But now Bermuda's everywhere around here.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a bent green. Smyrna's about the only one I know of.
Are they still bent?
Yeah.
Cedar Crest is bent too.
Oh, they are.
But other than that,
Smyrna,
Old
they're
Ford's
watering
going to
them.
change it. I'm pretty sure.
Back to bent?
No. Oh, maybe the hybrid. Maybe the hybrid.
Oh.
Supposedly they got the okay to redo the course or something
Yeah.
next year. I don't know.
Doesn't Indian Hills have a deal with like some company like dump a bunch of water out there? Or
So Pillsbury is across the water.
Yeah.
Across the river. Stone
Okay.
River. And probably 5 years ago, maybe
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago, the city was charging Pillsbury however much money to dispose of their water.
Right.
And they're like, well, we could run this water to Indian Hills and it would save us money. And so I think, I don't know all the details, but I know they ran a pipe under the river and it flows into Indian Hills and they have pretty much unlimited water, which the course is in a lot better shape than it used to be.
Yeah.
Brad Marcy's the superintendent. He's done a great job.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Who's the pro out there now?
Matt Walters is a teaching pro. I don't think he's employed by Indian Hills. He teaches out there and Indian Hills gets a percentage or whatever. He used to be at the Legends,
Yeah.
I think. I took a lesson from him last year.
I was about to say, are there any
Took-
instructors that you want to shout out that have helped you?
Matt helped me out last year.
Yeah.
When I was playing, I worked with Jeff Smith. Instagram handles Radar Golf Pro. He's got a few guys on tour, pretty good guys. Victor Hovland, Patrick Rogers.
Shit,
yeah,
dude.
Victor or Hovland's
It's a
playing
big
well.
name.
Aaron Wise. Who else?
Victor Hovland's a stud.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Go listen to him talk about his chipping. It's a good one to talk
Will
about
do.
because Victor's chipping used to be terrible.
Yeah.
Now it's just disgusting.
Have you been watching Zalatoris with the putter?
It's tough.
Oh my
It's
God!
Tough. It's tough.
Have you seen any highlights of him? Dude, he's taking the
Little
putter
figure,
back
figure
on
eight action.
dude, it's bad, dude. I mean, it looks like I can't explain it.
He's still solid though. This ball striking just
That's the thing. He just needs a putt. If he can putt, man, good lord. Of course, it's always something, right? It's like you're in a little rowboat with all these holes plugged, and
Yeah.
as soon as you get all them plugged, a new one comes up. You know.
yeah.
Jeez, man.
But it's just working through it, and a lot of it's mental.
Yeah.
Most of it's mental. The yips are mental, 100%.
Explain to us what the yips are.
The
Oh,
yips.
dude.
No
the
one's
yips,
told us.
The yips. Okay, so
Yeah.
It made me quit golf.
people say don't say that word yips. Like when you're putting, it happens more than putting, but sometimes in chipping or driving or whatever.
Yeah.
But mostly putting, it's like you take the putter back and it's like a flinch, but it's mental. It just happens.
Like you might not even be able to see it. Like sometimes, because I've had them, I can
me
feel
too.
it,
Me too.
and nobody else can see it.
Yeah.
Like somebody can be watching me, and I'll hit the putt, and they don't even know that it happened.
Yeah.
But I feel it. I feel
Like,
the twitch.
It's like a little twitch or a jerk or on a heartbeat or something. Can be.
It's
So it
terrifying.
could be major. It could be minor.
It's
it could
the
be,
reason
it
I
could
putt
be,
with the claw
It's a
right
mental.
now.
It's a mental block.
It's the reason I love the
Mental.
claw.
It's all mental.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like you're standing over a 3-footer and just like, what do I do? It's like you can't pull the putter back or something. I've been there. Shoot, I was there last year.
One night I saw you and Jason at MJ's.
Yeah.
This is probably 5 or 6 years ago. And Jason was talking to me about golf and all this other stuff. And he's like, well, why'd you quit? And I was like, dude, I got the yips. I couldn't get rid of them. I hated it. I got to where I didn't enjoy it anymore. He's like, oh man. He's like, I'll tell you how to get rid of those right now. I was like, I'm all
Come
ears.
on, let's go.
He goes,
Let me get a notepad.
he goes, go to the course. He's like, what you need to do is you need to make 100 3-footers in a row blindfolded. I was like, dude, if I could do that, I wouldn't have the yips. I was like, that's what I need to do to get rid of the yips. I was like, is that what you do on a regular basis? He was like, not regular. He's like, but it really helps me. And I was like, bro, I'd have to start that count over so many times. I'd die on that golf course.
Yeah, is this a straight putt? Is this funnel into the hole?
Yeah, like, dude. Oh my god.
Somebody has to stand there and just like put balls in front of you. You keep your blindfold on. They pull them out of the hole for you as you're just knocking them down.
And he said it so like nonchalant that I wanted to be like, oh man, you don't know, do you? Yeah, me and you aren't on the same level anymore. I know you know, I might have lost you by 2 or 3 shots in high school, but since then your stock has kept growing. Man. Funny dude.
What do y'all think the most important part of golf is? Tournament play. Or just in general?
Putting, because that's what I'm good at.
I think it's
I have my own opinion, but I'm gonna see. I just want to see what y'all say.
That's not my opinion. I'll share after him.
Pressure's on.
I think it's hitting the ball down the center of the
Good one.
of course.
Short memory for me. The rounds that I played the best in, I don't get too attached to the shots I hit well. I don't get too attached to the shots I hit poorly. I'm on to the next one. Any time spent thinking about the shot I just hit, whether it's, man, I can't believe you hit that shot, it's incredible. Or what were you doing? You've hit that shot a million times, is already time spent taken away from thinking about the next shot at hand. So the rounds I play the best, I hit a shot, I'll acknowledge I did something wrong there, I did something right there, and I move on. And it's on to the next shot.
That's good. Those are both pretty damn accurate.
Yeah.
Seriously, the tee shots are just... in terms of actually hitting shots, I think that's the most important part. Tee shots, because you can score from the fairway, but you can't score from the trees or OB or anything. Literally, tee shots I think are the most important part of the game.
He just saying that because he hits it 400 yards, man.
Ask anybody else. You can call somebody right now. Ask.
Hey, what about drive for show, putt for dough, man?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Still, if you can get off the tee, you're gonna put yourself in a lot better positions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're putting for double, it's not good.
Let me ask you this. Change the pace up a little bit.
All right.
A little more lighthearted here. So on our last podcast, we had this like "Don't be that guy" segment. Okay. Now I think there's a lot of these that apply to golfers that you see. Like in my opinion, we talked about it earlier. The guy that shoots 90 and has blades. What are you doing? You know what I mean? You have no business doing that. Another one that comes to mind is a guy sets up to a tee to the ball. And he knocks it off the tee with his club. There's always that guy that goes, "That's one."
Yeah.
Every foursome.
You've done that to me, man.
I hate myself for it. I apologize. Right now.
He stays up at night.
I'm that
he can't
guy.
sleep at night because of
I
that.
wish I never did it. Can you think of something like that?
Those are two pretty good ones. The one trying to... Oh, okay, this is a big thing. We'll get into it in a second. But re-putting up every putt. Putt. I'm like...
What do you mean re-putting every putt?
Like, let's say you've got
misses it, pulls it back.
10 feet, 5 feet, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and just doing it every time. Like, re-putting it every time. Like, oh, man, why didn't I go that way? Or blah, blah, blah. Along with that, I see so often where, like, just your average golfer, it's never his fault or her fault. It is the course. Or, oh, my God, it broke the other way. Or anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, and I'm guilty too, like 99% of the time, you didn't start on the right line.
Right.
It's not, you get your 5 feet, the ball's not going to break 1.5 feet.
Right.
Yeah, and just self-diagnosing every single swing.
Yeah.
Every single swing you self-diagnose, for me as an onlooker, is different. Like the last one, you said your back did something. That one, you said you didn't get through it.
Yeah.
And then you say you didn't clear.
Yeah.
And then you didn't say you didn't cover it. And then whatever. So that's something that I see. I'm just like, oh my God. Like the self-diagnosing, man.
What about on the putting thing? You'll have a guy who's got a putt. He's got an 8-foot putt or something. And he hits his putt. He blows it 4 feet by the hole. And he goes, didn't even break. It's like, but how could it break?
I know.
He powered it right through it. Like,
along that, speed is the most important part of putting.
Yes.
You're going to make a lot more putts with good speed.
Way more important than line.
Especially the short putts. You ever realized, I do it too, like how hard you hit short putts? You hit short putts hard, way too hard.
Yeah. And
not you, just in general.
And unless it hits the center, it's not going in.
Yeah, exactly. Unless your intent is to jam it in the back of the hole from 2 feet because it's a slider.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, speed and then...
Do those still make you nervous, like those 3-foot putts? They still...
Sure.
That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
even like, okay, you go out there and play tomorrow. Me and you go play, and you got a 3-foot putt. When you stand over it, I mean, obviously you're not as nervous as in a tournament, but is it still like, ooh, I can miss this? You know what I mean? Like,
not really. I've gotten a lot better about that.
Yeah. What do you think about when something like when you have a 3-foot putt, it's straight in? When you're standing over it? What's going in your head?
Committing to the stroke.
Huh?
Committing to the stroke.
Committing to the stroke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just trying to make as pure of a stroke as possible.
Yeah. Committing to the stroke with the speed that I picked out. Do I do it every time? No. But that's what I need to do. That's what I try to do.
Yeah. When you read a putt, you got a 20-footer, and you're trying to figure out where to start it, kind of pace. Is there like a spot you pick on the green that you're trying to roll the ball towards, or what goes through your head?
Typically, yeah. You want to. What helps me is I'll see where I think the ball's going to peak.
Right.
But you got to aim outside of that. And so you just kind of see that apex, whether it's an uphill or downhill.
Interesting.
I pretty much overread everything because average golfer underreads, especially on a left or righter. Or any putt, they're gonna miss it low.
Yeah.
So definitely give yourself
a little more break, a little less pace.
Yeah, definitely. And especially a left or righter for a righty.
You listening to this?
I'm listening.
Okay.
Especially a left or righter for a righty.
I have it recorded.
That's a good call.
A left or righter for a righty, definitely give yourself a little bit more break because chances are you're going to cut the putt too.
Dude, why is it that, man, a left or right, you give me an 8-foot putt, one's right to left, one's left to right. That right to left, it looks like a layup to me. But that left to right, it's just like, God bless. I think it's because, like you said, I miss low a lot on left to right putts. And then I'll overcorrect and I'll stand over it because mentally I'm like, you always miss these low, dude. You never start them out far enough. And then I'll just pull it, 2 balls left of my line.
Yep.
And that's the only way I miss it high, It's rare that I make a good stroke that misses high on a left to right putt.
Okay.
Very rare for me.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, we've been at this for an hour and 20 at least.
Yeah, dude. We're just rambling.
It's been good.
Do we need to chill?
No, we need to respect Matt's time, though.
Oh, I'm good.
Matt, I want to say again, we really appreciate you coming out. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You got any stories you want to tell us before we log
No,
off
I want to
here?
ask him a question.
Well, when you say respect your time, it sounds like you're closing things down.
No, I want to ask him a question really
And
quick.
this is dead air, so keep going.
We can keep going.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Matt, you travel all over the world, you said. Where's your favorite place you've been? Like, and just what places have you been?
Mostly South America. Never been to Europe. Brazil is my favorite.
Really? What was so good about it?
Good food?
It was okay.
The women?
Yeah, they were okay. They were good looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard Brazilian women are beautiful.
Yeah.
I think
Brazilian.
Never seen one in your
Brazilian women are better than
I've never seen one
Colombians.
in real life.
Everybody always harped on Colombians. I thought Brazil was. I liked Brazil. It was a Latin Q school on the Olympic course.
Okay.
Where they played the Olympics in 2016. But that was a bucket list for me. I was like, shit, I'll never play there.
Yeah.
And then that popped up. It was actually they canceled an event in Colombia and added that instead.
Right.
I was like, holy shit, I got to go. And found a way to get there and hiked up to Christ the Redeemer, the big Jesus statue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was sick. We
That's in Rio?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Rio.
That's a little geography tip for you.
That's right.
Thanks, Heath.
Yeah.
Way down there.
Right.
It was pretty cool. We hiked up to it, which was freaking stupid. I was so mad.
Did you put
Now,
it on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, his Instagram's
Looking back, I'm so glad we hiked it. It was just there were 5 of us, and that was it. Nobody else was on the trail. Everybody else took this tram that goes up.
That'd be me, straight up.
We didn't think it was going to be a 2-hour hike, and it's almost straight up. I mean, you're going like this, and you do have to scale some rocks, which is kind of wild. They had wires like steps that you climb up, or a ladder kind of, but it was pretty sick. We thought we could ride the tram back down, but since we didn't have a ticket going up, we couldn't ride it back down, so we had to freaking hike back down. It was brutal.
Bet you were tired.
Extremely, and it was the hottest heat I've ever
these
felt.
hard-hitting questions here.
It was the hottest heat I've ever felt. It was so humid. It was 100 degrees, and it was just it was awful.
Here, my turn. Were you sweating?
Did your feet hurt?
Man, let me tell you, we had 1 bottle of water between all 5 of us, so that was pretty stupid.
Oh, man.
I mean, it was brutal.
Hope this is pre-COVID era.
It was 2009.
Thank
2019 January, I think.
At some point, did y'all just start spitting it back in there and just like try to keep your mouth
We
wet?
should have. One guy had to rest for a little bit. All the guys that went, I'm still pretty good friends with. They're from all over the place. One's California, Colorado, Toronto, Oregon, or something. I mean, literally, it was pretty neat. Yeah. But a couple of them I still talk to regularly. That's probably one of the coolest things too, is just meeting people from everywhere, and kind of just staying in touch and seeing people in different cities and whatnot. Along more with a question about favorite. Brazil is probably my favorite. Been to Colombia a few times. I went to Argentina like 4 months ago in November, Thanksgiving week.
Okay.
Came out of retirement, kinda, just to go play a tournament, and didn't do any good, but it was fun to get the juices flowing again. It was sweet. Do
you have any like pre-round like superstitions or rituals or anything? Foods you eat?
No, fortunately no.
So you played your last match 5 months ago?
It was a first one in 2+ years.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it was a Latin Q school actually. I had 2 good rounds. The other 2 were not so hot, but that was expected. I didn't hit the ball great. I figured my short game would be kind of iffy, especially putting, but it wasn't. But it was fun to play again. I didn't have expectations, but it was neat.
How long was that plane ride down there?
11 hours from Atlanta.
Dude,
it was brutal.
No way.
It was freaking brutal.
Dang, man.
Pretty brutal. I met a guy just in the airport. He didn't even have an Airbnb yet, and I asked him. He was obviously a golfer. Had his title stuff on. I was like, "Oh, where are you staying?" Blah blah blah. And I figured he was going to be saying like the host hotel or something. He's like, "You know what? I don't even know yet." I'm like, "Holy shit! You just traveled to Argentina. You don't even have a place to stay, and you've never been here. You don't speak Spanish." Anyway, we stayed together, and it worked out. But it was sweet. It's kind of funny, I guess. So a lot of the caddies down there travel, like just with the tour or whatever. So I had
hopes of being picked up, or
yeah.
Okay.
I had a guy reach out to me on Instagram. Spoke perfect English from Mexico, and he asked if he could caddy. I was like, yeah, hell yeah. And he was like our translator all week. It was perfect. And I know a little bit of Spanish, not no. I can understand some of it. Speaking it, no. But and that was clutch, and everything down there is cheap. I brought a bunch of wine back. Argentina is pretty famous for Malbec wine.
Gotcha.
So I brought back as much as I could. But yeah, South America is where I've done most of traveling.
Cool.
Pretty neat. Pretty cool stories, and seeing it puts into perspective. The first time I went to South America was Colombia, Bogota, and first experience like third world. But it really put everything into perspective and made you appreciate what we have here for sure. Yeah.
I did a mission trip in Mexico, and it was like the second poorest city in Mexico.
Where'd you go?
Matamoros.
I don't even know where that is.
It's right across the border.
Okay.
And it's just, there was like a city dump, and they had made like a village inside the dump. Mm-hmm. Like there were hundreds of people living in this dump, and it was just like, man, it put all the things that I was complaining about into perspective. It's just like, dude, you have it made. And they were as happy. Like,
oh yeah,
it's just like, dude, they have nothing, and look how happy they are. Like you bitch and moan about everything. Like. Man.
In Brazil, there were families and kids like just on the street. All they had on was a pair of shorts, no shoes, no shirt. It was wild.
Damn. Yeah. I hate that.
Yeah, it's
hey man,
puts it in perspective. I'll tell you that.
Sounds like they don't hate it.
No, they got a better attitude than we do.
No, you ain't
seriously.
Yeah. I'm over here bitching and moaning because I make a bogey on a hole at a
country club.
Yeah, dude.
Jeez. Like, on a Friday, not having to work.
I'm the worst. Yeah. We knew that though.
It's all right.
Damn, dude. I've known this guy for a long time. A lot of high school golf matches. Had some fun. He played my last round of high school competitive golf. Not with me, but he was there that day.
Played in front of you.
He played in front of me. Yep. Walked off the green. Walked all the way to our van in the parking lot. And cried like a little bitch for like 30 minutes.
Dang, I didn't know that. Dude. I didn't know that. The
truth comes out. Shut myself in the van.
14 years later.
I was so mad, dude. Yeah. I was so mad. I've never been more upset in my life, I don't think.
And you shot a 73 or something?
71.
71.
Yeah. I think I was mad because I don't think I could have played much better than I did, and it just wasn't good enough.
I'll be crying tears of joy if I ever get to 81. So.
Because you have a realization, and I'm sure you'll agree with this. Even for guys that are very humble, eventually you have a realization that you're like, I'm kind of good at this. Like I'm I'm pretty good at this.
Mm-hmm.
And you learn real quick, there's just always somebody bigger and badder.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, sometimes you find out in high school golf, sometimes you find out in the pros. You know, in high school golf, that was humbling for me because I knew I couldn't come off that course and be like, oh, I didn't play that well, or I left a lot of shots out there. I mean, I left a few, but not many.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I played well,
Yeah.
and it wasn't good enough. That's just the facts.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Go ahead.
I mean, that makes me think about something that you said earlier. You were talking about having learned stuff after your career, and then you were also talking about the mental game and how important that is. It makes me wonder if some of those things, if somebody could have pointed those out to you, how important they were, and kind of gotten that across to you, and gotten it across to you as well. Some of these things, does that change the course? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, potentially, yeah. I mean,
pun intended.
Yeah, pretty good. Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah. You really teed that one up for you.
Potentially, I mean, it kind of goes along with resources and access to resources. Some guys have like sports psychologists talking about the mental game, but all that costs money. It's expensive. I mean, geez, golf is expensive to realistically do it. I mean, you needed $80 or $90 a year, and that's if you crap out every tournament. I mean, that's covering, because if you don't have status on the tour, the entry fees come from, or the purse comes from entry fees. So if it's $1,500 or $2,000 a tournament, you got 120 guys putting in $2,000, and that's where the purse comes from, minus whatever the tour takes to pay the golf course. And so, having the resources for the mental game was a huge thing that I did not have for the most part. But it's extremely underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard Tiger saying he got inducted in the Hall of Fame recently, didn't he? And he was talking about how his parents, they like mortgaged their house or something to where he could go and play.
It's pretty. That's
he squeaked in there.
Yeah. He's done all right since then, but.
And so it sounds like what you're saying is that, like, if you had basically unlimited resources in theory, you're going to probably be a lot better because you just have a lot more.
Your chances are a lot better.
A lot better.
I would say so, yeah. Like somebody like me who, like a couple years, would be able to play some tournaments here and there. It wasn't as consistent of a schedule. Mm-hmm. It's tough to make that work. I mean, that's just being realistic. Like, you don't really get in any type of rhythm. You're not in competition, every week or every other week like you need to be.
Yeah.
And so that's where that comes into play. A lot of it had to do with money. A lot of it had to do with just resources in general. But that's something you can't harp on that. Like talking about earlier being the victim or whatever.
Yeah.
It's important to not play the victim card in that sense. Like, to try to make the most of each opportunity you get.
Right.
Which that's what we want to do anyway. But I mean, that's just part of the mental game that you got to overcome.
Yeah.
Damn.
Been a damn good episode.
It's our longest one.
I think so.
You want me to shut up now?
No, dude.
No,
this
man.
Is great.
This has been good.
This is great, man.
I will say that a lot of people don't realize how good, like, not just in golf, but just pros in general, like baseball. Like, I wasn't even close to PGA Tour, and there are guys miles better than me. But like baseball, basketball, and like you got your guy sitting on the couch eating popcorn. He's like, "What the fuck was that? That's terrible." Blah blah blah. And like, dude,
Those Monday morning quarterbacks.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
And like, these guys are so good at what they do, you don't even realize. Like basketball, think about how many guys each year get drafted. 60.
Yeah.
60. Half of those don't even make the roster.
Right.
The rest of the half isn't even, not all of, like, let's say 30 guys make a roster. Well, of those 30 guys, not even all of them are college players. They're international or G League or whatever.
Yeah.
There's 312 or whatever D1 basketball teams, right? How many? That's 312 times 15 college basketball players, just D1.
Real quick math. Go.
What was it? 312 times 15?
Yeah.
Dude.
What is it? That's going to be...
It's about 5,000.
Is it?
Yeah,
Sure want him keeping my books.
I think. Is that right? 317, 312 times 15.
312 times 15. It's going to be 45 something.
It's almost 5,000.
Yeah.
And that's just D1. And only like 10 or 15 of those guys are making an NBA roster. Think about how microscopic that number is.
Yeah.
And I'm an NBA junkie, so just kind of along like the lines of pro and how good they are and whatnot.
Yeah.
That number is so microscopic, and people think that, it's not that difficult, or whether it's talking about golf or baseball, thinking they can make it into something else,
Right.
or if my coach didn't send my tapes in,
Yeah.
I probably would have been D1 or whatever. That's one of those that guy things.
Right.
But just I keep talking about NBA because I love the NBA, but like they're so good. They're like, oh, people they don't play defense in the NBA. It's because they're so good at offense.
The shot making's incredible.
They're so quick. They will dice you up,
Yeah.
and you don't even realize it because they're so quick and it's so fluid.
Yeah.
You can't defend it. Like think of Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
They are.
And their open shots are not open anywhere else.
No.
But to them they're routine.
One of the best lines I've seen. You might have seen it probably a year ago.
Yeah.
Brian Scalabrine.
Yeah.
You know him, redheaded
Dude, I was just about to say that with LeBron James.
Listen to this. Let me tell it, please, because I love this. Is such a good
The
analogy.
White Mamba.
Dude, okay, so he was playing pickup ball or something, or he was just shooting around in a gym, a YMCA or whatever, and some random guy's talking trash to him and wants to play him or whatever. And so Scalabrine played him, and the guy didn't score. Scalabrine beat him 11-0. Some guy from a gym who could have been a good college player. Scalabrine told him after, he was like, I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me. And he's 100% true. That is so accurate. It is one of the best analogies I've ever seen or ever heard. And it's a fact.
And you show him on any bench, he looks like the least unathletic person on the bench.
Yes.
Period.
Yes. The worst NBA player, whatever it is, 15 man on the bench,
Right.
will dice every single college player up.
Right.
I'm serious. I mean, it's
You're right.
they are so good, and people don't realize that. Not just NBA, but baseball pitchers. Like people think they could get a hit off of DeGrom or something, or Clayton Kershaw. I mean, come on, man, be realistic.
It's just not.
You got a fastball that comes in at 100 miles an hour, 95 miles an hour. The same curveball is coming in at 75,
And it looks the same out of his hand.
And it looks the same out of his hand. It looks the same 3/4 of the way, and you got to make a decision.
Essentially,
faster
you're
back.
guessing. You're
Oh,
sitting
it is.
on
It is.
a pitch,
Yes.
and you're guessing. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're making your decision, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said that's the hardest thing to do in sports is hit a major league fastball. I think that's what they said.
Hit a round ball with a round bat. I mean, Kristen Yelich was doing a podcast or something with somebody talking about. I think it was talking about getting. If the average person had 1,000 pitches from Jacob deGrom, he wouldn't hit the ball. He wouldn't get a hit. Not a single hit. With the infield and everything, he wouldn't get a hit. You might get lucky and foul tip some, but you're not getting hit.
I think if I had that opportunity just to try to make contact, I don't think I would swing. I would hold the bat and try to move the bat up or down to try to get a foul tip.
And yeah, I mean, it's just.
But that's.
I could go on about that forever on how good like NBA guys are. Like even the worst player in the league, whoever it is, the 15 guy on the Magic or something. I mean, he will carve a college player up.
Damn, just blasted him on this podcast, so he doesn't listen.
Who?
The last guy on the bench, the Magic. He's gonna watch this.
My bad. No, that's a compliment to him.
But golfers, amateur golfers, say the same shit, and they'll be like, I hear this all the time. Like, you play golf? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, oh man, I gotta talk golf. Like, man, I can fucking pound it, dude. I can pound it. I can hit the ball like every time. It's like, okay, that's great. Now you can hit it. Do you know where it's going? Can you hit it around things? Can you hit it over things? Can you hit it over water? Can you hit it under trees? Just hitting the ball, that's a very small percentage of it.
There's a big difference between playing your local golf course that you play every day than playing tour courses.
Yes.
There's a guy in Indian Hills. I'm not gonna say his name. He lives in the neighborhood, but he was like, if I had 3 strokes, if I was 3 strokes better, I'd be on the PGA Tour. He can't even bust part Indian Hills. If you don't, Indian Hills, Jim McEllier, he owns part of the course.
Will you tell me after the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
You won't know him, but it's nobody we'd know really.
Yeah.
But Jim, the golf course owner.
He said this seriously. I'm sorry. He said it seriously.
Yeah, not Jim. This other guy.
Okay.
Jim, he's like, if you're not shooting 64 at Indian Hills, what are you doing?
Don't try.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's true. It's right.
Yeah.
Every par 5 is a par 4. And the par 4s are short enough to birdie and just I don't know. And there's not much slope in the greens. It's just I don't know.
I told him the same thing last summer, and I
forever.
wasn't really lecturing him because I know he understands. He's really smart. He's just new at golf. He's very new. And last summer I played really well at Smyrna. I shot 2 under at Smyrna. Super happy. It was my first time breaking par since I don't know. I was 18.
High school?
Probably, yeah. I was really excited about it. And he's like, oh, man, that's great. Da, 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 da. Like, you really worked at it. You could da, 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 da. And I was like, you have to understand something. I was like, I know you see my scorecard. I know you see 5 or 6 birdies on there. And I know you see 70. I know that looks like a good number. And for me, it is, man. It's a really good number. Mm-hmm. And for 98% of golfers, it's a really good number. I was like, but you might log on today, and you might see Jason Miller playing a Corn Ferry tournament, and he might shoot a 70 today too. Mm-hmm. Those numbers aren't equal. They're very different numbers.
It's not comparable.
He's playing on longer courses, harder greens, thicker rough, more obstacles. Yep. I mean, it's just, and the list goes on and on and on. Mm-hmm. I keep trying to get him to come play Henry Horton. Mm-hmm. Have you been there since they redid the greens?
I played there in November. First time in 15 years.
I think, and I haven't played the level of courses you played on, but I played the Honors, Council Fire, courses like that. Those are the most challenging greens I've ever played on in my entire life. Mm-hmm. And it's not because they're fast, because they are much faster than the average golf course greens, especially public course. Mm-hmm. The undulation in those greens
they're huge.
Getting a double breaking putt out there, not that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're tiered. Mm-hmm. I mean, I went out there, and putting is my strong point. Mm-hmm. It always has been. I've always had supreme confidence in that area. And I went out there, and it must look like I was starting golf that day. Because, I mean, the pace, it took me 3 or 4 holes to get used to the pace.
Oh, it's like putting on this.
I was 3-putting everywhere. If you got it above the hole, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, you shouldn't have done that. I mean, it was just, I want to take him out there because I want to be like, man, like this is... After you play out here, you can see like the difference in Smyrna and a course like this. Mm-hmm. And the PGA Tour, even more.
Yeah.
But like the speed and the slope of those greens just blew me away. Mm-hmm. It's nuts.
Hardest course you ever played? What is it?
Man.
Smyrna National, is it?
Par 3 over there?
Man, the hardest course I've
Smyrna
ever
Yacht
played. I don't know if it was hard or if I just wasn't very good when I played it, but Camp Creek in Florida caused me a lot of problems.
What part of Florida is that?
It's like kind of around Seagrove Beach, Fort Walton Beach area. Uh-huh. And if I played there now, I think I'd have a lot more success because I was early in my playing Florida golf. I just did it on vacations. Mm-hmm. But man, there was water everywhere. There were waste areas everywhere, and at the time I hadn't played many courses that had fairway bunkers or waste areas. And hitting off of dirt consistently in sand, unless it's around the green, it's just different, man. Like it's just it's hard to get used to. Mm-hmm. So that course gave me fits. Yeah, it probably still would.
I haven't played it, but Florida, there's some tough ones in Florida, definitely.
Yeah, the low end Florida courses would be top end courses here. Like
yeah, probably a lot of them.
Hardest course you played?
The Olympic course in Rio was very difficult. That was extremely difficult.
How long was it?
7,500 maybe.
Jesus. Now you played Victoria National a few times, haven't
Victoria
you?
National.
That's tough, isn't it?
Victoria National is difficult. It's funny that I played it when I was 15 for the first time. So 15.
Was it Indiana?
Yes, Evansville area, Newburgh technically, but Evansville area. I played it when I was 15. It was obviously extremely hard, but it's crazy. It seems easier because of the technology advancements. I probably played it 6 times last year, and it seems like each round I saw myself being like, this isn't that hard of a course, or it's not as hard as it used to be. I don't know if I was playing better or whatnot. Yeah. I had a bogey-free round out there, which was...
Of course, think about your skill level then and now, obviously, too.
Yeah. I mean, I've probably played it 8 times the past 2 years.
Yeah.
But even last year, it's still a difficult course, especially if the wind blows and the fairways are firm. I mean, God, you can't even hardly hack it out of the rough. They host the Corn Ferry Tour Championship now.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They do.
Now, the Hermitage course gave me a lot of trouble 2 years ago. That's just because I'm a hack golfer, maybe, but that shit gave me trouble. I can't remember if it was what are the 2 courses in Hermitage? General's Retreat?
General's Retreat and President's Reserve.
The Retreat is the one I played.
Okay. Those greens are Bermuda.
Well, hold on. The first hole there's like a ravine you hit over, but it's a short hole. It's a short par 4. It's not, you only have to carry 120, 30 yards. Dead straight.
Oh, that's President's, I think.
That's the one I played.
Okay.
Yeah. I made an 8 on the first hole.
Ooh,
so
it's a tough start.
It's really hard to pay.
You sure I wouldn't play it out there?
Positive. It's really hard to cough up $95 to play a course and then make an 8 off the first hole. Mm-hmm. Sitting in that cart riding to the second one is like, what the fuck am I
working on that middle game, aren't you?
Dude, yeah. I was mad. I was big mad there. Mm-hmm. Joe.
I'm trying to think of another difficult one. Ballyhack in Roanoke, Virginia is tough.
I think the Honors is the best course I've ever played.
Never played it.
I got to play there one time with Dad and his friend who was a member, and the greens are just it's art.
It's art. It's under construction right now.
Yeah,
they're redoing the whole thing.
Yeah, that's nuts. It almost seems like a fucking shame to bulldoze it and just.
Hey.
I'm sure it'll come back bigger and better, but
I'm sure.
It's just the fact that course has like they'll have fucking and I only know this because somebody told me. I don't fuck around with those big league courses, but there's a guy at Stone River's a member out there, and he says
Spencer?
No, it's Dickie Heathcock.
Okay.
And it's nothing for them to send a fucking, you got your club dues every month, obviously, but it's nothing for them to send you a bill for 30, 40 grand at the end of the year because of
assessment.
You know what I mean? Some guy, it's like, and they'll pay it. I mean, like, you're not obviously a member there unless you're, but now Council Fire, I believe, and Dad told me this, if you live over 100 miles away, it's super cheap.
Really?
It's like,
Is that place private?
Yes.
It is private?
But it's like $200 a month to join if you live over 100 miles away.
It's pretty good.
I mean, yeah.
The place is sweet.
I know. I was shocked. But that's why he joined down Old Waverly down in Mississippi.
That's a really nice course.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Have you played it, man?
I haven't.
Okay.
Where's that?
It's West Point, Mississippi.
Is Tupelo? Is that close to Tupelo?
I don't know if it's close or not. The town is in as little.
There's
so
another
small.
course.
It's close to Mississippi State.
Okay, there's another course there. Mossy Oak?
Yes.
I've never played either one.
He's played there. I haven't played there.
Okay. Supposedly that's pretty
That's
good.
like the number one course in Mississippi, I think.
Oh, really?
That might be.
Okay, my bad. It's probably Tupelo area.
Yeah, dude, that course is.
I don't know.
It's incredible. But the reason he joined there, he was going. His best friend has been a member since I was a kid. I mean, the first time I went out there, I was probably like 13 or 14. So his best friend's been a member for 15 or 20 years. But the membership, he learned what the out of state was, and it's just like, don't quote me on the number. I don't know what it was, but it was extremely affordable because he's lives in Tennessee or whatever. So that's why he joined. It's wild how affordable golf can be if you know where to look, if that makes sense. So
it's not the Nashville area anymore.
No,
oh my God.
It is not. Are you a member anywhere? I thought you're not an Indian Hills member or anything.
Well, yeah, I guess I am. Yeah.
Is that like a monthly? Can you play as much as you want out there? Okay.
Yeah.
What's if you don't mind me asking, what are the dudes out there at Indian Hills?
I'm not 100%.
Okay.
I don't look.
Jeez, you got so much money, you don't even
Yeah,
realize.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
He's just like, I don't know. They just draft that shit out of my account, man.
No.
Can't remember the last time I even looked at a statement.
No, I did not mean it in that. Did not mean it that way.
Dude, this was a blast, man.
That's been a blast.
I enjoyed this.
Bethpage was the other one.
Difficult. Ooh. Of course, they have the classic sign. Did you get a pick with the sign?
Of course.
Got to.
Played that last September. We played Bethpage and Liberty National.
Yeah.
Bethpage is difficult.
Have you heard of Bethpage Black in New York?
I've heard of Bethpage, but I don't know anything about it.
They have a sign at the start of the first hole, and it's like the black course. You probably can quote it.
It's like the black course is extremely difficult for highly skilled golfers only.
It's like a warning label, but it's iconic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just. I'm sure it's intimidating. I mean,
oh shoot, yeah,
it would intimidate the shit out of me.
Chris, the guy that went with me, Chris Housen, family physician here with Helton. You know Helton? You might know him.
Randy Hilton?
No, Mike Helton. Mike Helton.
No,
Helton Family Medicine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're good friends of mine. But Chris went with me.
Yeah.
Houston. So we played Bethpage and Liberty. But we got a picture by the sign, and they have like it's about the size of this placemat.
Yeah.
Like a replica sign you can get.
Ooh.
Like a street sign. So he got one of those, and it's in his man cave or something, but it's pretty sweet.
That's sick.
It's pretty neat.
Damn. Have you been to, I'm sure you've been to like Augusta practice rounds and tournament rounds. That course, I've never been on a course that's more beautiful than that.
You've played on Augusta?
I haven't played it, no.
But you've hit balls on it and stuff.
No.
No.
Actually, I putted, if that counts.
Wow. What? That's a story?
It's pretty sick. So 2015, I was in Augusta in 05 with Tiger when he won too.
Yeah.
That was the first time I went. But 2015, a friend of mine, he's like, hey, I can get you a grounds pass for Tuesday. I was like, awesome. Yeah. I had another friend who wanted to go, and he was just going to scalp one. And so Monday night, we were going to stay in Atlanta. So we drove to Atlanta that Monday night of Masters Week, 2015.
Right.
or in Atlanta, I still hadn't heard from this guy who said he's going to give me a ticket, who I've known for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's really weird. So the next morning we get up, drive to Augusta, get to Augusta at, I don't know, 8:30, and I still haven't heard from the guy. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And so we're just like, screw it, I guess we'll just scalp some and go in. And so scalped some ground tickets, got in at like 9 o'clock. 45 minutes goes by and you can't take a phone in. You have to check a phone like at this check area, like you leave it. Like you cannot take a cell phone in. 45 minutes went by and I'm like, man, I'm gonna go check my phone just in case he texts me. I don't want the ticket to go to waste. And so went back and checked my phone and I have a message that says, hey, go to this address. There's 2 VIP tickets and pick them up. So we left Augusta, drove 20 minutes across the state line to South Carolina to some house that they rented for the week. And I opened the door and this girl goes, oh, you must be Matt. I'm like, yeah. And like, oh, we got the Berkman's passes for you, which if you haven't heard of Berkman's Place at Augusta National, you need to look it up. It is worth a Google. It's this 90,000 square foot building off to the right of number 5, 3 replica greens outside, obviously, but there's rows of Scotty Camerons, Taylormade, Odyssey, whatever you want. And they have these little putting courses set up. I think it's hole 16 replica, maybe 14 and 7. Don't quote me on that. I know 16 is one of them, but you get to putt on the greens that are identical to the course greens, same slope, same speed.
Class. Yeah,
there's video somewhere. We're trying to find it. I don't know where the video is. I don't have Facebook or anything, so I don't know where the videos are. But yeah, literally, it's this ticket, and it was only open to corporations 2011 or 12, whenever it opened. And if you didn't get in then, you didn't get in.
Yeah.
You can't, there's no lottery for them or anything. But inside this building, they had a members pro shop. So anytime you see a Masters logo, it's typically yellow, right? The little yellow inside
Right.
whatever. Well, the members logo is green inside. So if you ever see a green logo, it's the members logo. I didn't even know that until 2 years after the fact. Somebody pointed out to me. I didn't even realize that it was a green logo because I have a shirt and a head cover. But anyway, it was just crazy how we lucked out and got those tickets because it's like by invitation only or whatever. But that's kind of the story on getting to putt at Augusta, I guess.
Damn.
Not on the course, but kind of.
That's a sports memory right there.
It was pretty neat.
I got to shoot a 3 in Rupp Arena.
That's pretty sick.
I missed it.
What?
But
did you shoot it again?
No, I didn't shoot it. I only got 1 shot. But it was like a back rim, so it looked like I knew what I was doing.
Good.
It was a good miss. It was a quality miss.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll remember that forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Do you have an uncle that coaches at Transylvania or something?
That's right. That's why I got
How
there.
about that memory?
I went to the shoot around with his team.
Mm-hmm.
It was sick.
Mm-hmm.
We had a shoot around in Rupp Arena.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible. And of course, they're all kids that grew up in Kentucky too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a bunch of kids in there going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
nice.
It was incredible.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, the Masters. That's about to be played soon, isn't it?
Next week.
You want my pick?
I want your pick.
Oh yeah.
Cam Smith.
Wow. What's your reasoning? Just think, does he do?
I mean, I picked him to win the Players before the Players too. I picked him to win the Masters before the Players. He's an excellent putter. He plays well at Augusta. The weather's going to be kind of shitty, and coming up this week, he plays well in the bad conditions. Obviously, he can roll it. I mean,
DraftKings and FanDuel sponsor us.
hey, that's right. There
That's
we
a
go.
hot pick right there.
There we go. I actually got the bet in on FanDuel about 2 months ago, so
Is Tiger gonna play?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is. He's fortunate for the people who are going to the practice rounds. If he ends up not playing, well, they got to see him in the practice rounds. But the people in the tournament round may not get to see him if he doesn't play, obviously.
I got a pick too.
Let me hear it.
Brooks Koepka.
It's a good pick.
Yeah, mainly because I want him to win above everyone else. So
Okay.
there's only bias behind that pick.
Hey, he's had success at Augusta. When Tiger won, he came in second.
Yep.
I'm going with Spieth.
That's a solid pick. That is a good one.
Yeah.
He plays well every year. Seriously. His first 3 years in the Masters, he had been beaten by 2 people total. Because 14, runner-up to Bubba Watson. 15, won. 16, he blew it on the back nine, but that's pressure. That's tough. But he still came in second to Danny Willett.
Hey, who's that box up there? He asked me. You already told me and I didn't know.
That's Caleb Plant. He's
Caleb
from,
Plant.
I think he's from like Dixon, Tennessee.
Okay.
Fought Canelo last
I
year.
can't believe you didn't know that.
He's a beast.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he lose to Canelo?
He lost to Canelo.
So we have a
Canelo's got
loser on our wall.
2, 3. He's got like 2 or 3 times as many fights as he has. This is not about boxing. Okay, awesome. Well, let me ask this. We'll wrap it up.
All right.
2 questions.
Sure.
How bad would you beat Hughes' ass today in golf?
If we played today, what are we playing?
Where are we playing?
Yeah.
Stone River.
What'd you shoot last time you played out there?
81.
Oof. When you beat by my dinner, we'll say that.
Oh. Hey, man.
I'll
How
give
bad
you-
do
I'll
you think
give
he beat you, all right?
I'll give you, how many strokes you want?
I'm a 7, dude. What are you, a +4 or something?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe?
So I guess you get,
No,
you
hold
get
on.
5.5 aside.
Stop it. You know what you are. What's your handicap?
I don't know.
Dude.
2? Plus 2?
Dude, a 2 or a plus 2? Don't tell me it's a 2.
I
I'll
haven't
call you
posted
a liar.
a score in, I don't know, a year.
Yeah, I need a shot. I need 9 or 10 shots at least.
I'll give you 10. I'll give you 5 aside.
5 aside. That's probably fair.
All right, Matt. So,
And a generous gimme range as well.
No, we're putting everything out.
Oh, shit.
You said putting's the best part of your game.
Yeah, it is, dude. That mean I want to put a bunch of 3
What
footers,
tees we
2
playing?
footers.
What tees we playing? Back tees?
I don't want to play the tips. I play the combos when I go out there, like the tip white combo.
I'll play tips. You can play tip white combo.
I'll play senior tees. You play tips,
No.
and that way we'll be hitting the same distance in maybe.
Speaking of senior tees or women's tees, I think kind of along the lines of earlier about how good pros are, like LPGA players.
Yeah.
Like when people be like, "Oh, I could probably compete out there." No, you couldn't. No.
let's
You
just
think
clear
you
that
could?
up.
No.
Let's just clear that
Even
up.
at your best.
No. Damn. They're unbelievable. The short game's so good. I
like
mean,
you-
obviously, I'm playing. Distance would be a huge thing. Like I would have an advantage, but they don't miss. Like they don't miss shots. It's crazy. I'll take that to the grave. I mean, seriously, they are. They are.
It's like women shooting college basketball, right? They don't miss.
They shoot better percentages than the men do.
Yeah.
They're.
That, however, what we're talking about does not apply to basketball. Like a high school boys standout could probably play for.
Well, he's noting that he would outdrive them probably by
Oh yeah.
That definitely.
ridiculous.
But just competing each week, no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Seriously, I've missed cuts, 100%. I'm serious. I mean, and even if somebody talks to you about that thinking they could compete, no.
No.
Same deal. Like we said about how good like NBA players are and baseball and just
Yeah.
There is a huge discrepancy between good college players and average pros.
Yeah.
They're not comparable in almost every sport.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And especially baseball and basketball. But
Thanks for clearing that up because there's probably a lot of people out there that need to hear that. They're probably gonna need to hear that again.
You
But-
might
let
need
me
to
say
hear
it louder for the people in the back. Hey, I'm just being honest.
Damn, man.
Just being honest.
What about the don't be that guy in golf that's he'll watch you hit a ball, you hit it bad or you thin it something, he'll be like, put your head up.
Oh my goodness. Oh God.
That is the favorite bit of advice to give. And you put your head up there.
But it's different every time.
Or stay down on it. You got too handsy there. A little quick there. You heard that? A little quick?
Oh, yeah.
A little quick there.
Oh yeah. All the time.
Oh man.
Have you ever had people give you advice that you're like, don't give me advice?
Yeah.
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 Dude, I would like to go out to him with to Smyrna with him and pull like an Uncle Drew.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Like he tees off and it's just like hits it in the woods and plays just like ass the first 3 or 4 holes and we're paired with 2 random guys.
Yeah.
And then he's just the whole time he's like, I'm not really like this. Like, damn, dude, I usually turn it on.
Let me stretch a little bit.
And then
Do
like
something.
and then like hole 5 or 6 just like birdie.
Just hit a
He's like,
driver.
how's
Rip
this
a driver.
better?
We could play the senior tees.
Yes. Oh man. Yeah, that'd be a good. We could take off the tee, on the course, off the tee.
We
on
need
the
to
course.
take on. And I'll tell you what we need to do. This is what we need to do. Because I can guarantee this right now. All the money Hughes has got, that me and Hughes will
Which is like hundreds.
beat you and Millard in a scramble. That's all the money he's got.
How many
Say that
strokes?
I'll bet it right now.
Say that again.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you something. Me and him scramble versus you and Millard, and you give us 2 shots a hole, we'll put y'all down, dude.
2 shots a hole.
And it won't even.
I don't know about that.
It won't even
That's a
be
lot.
close, man.
That's a lot.
Dude, we would get. So we have 2 guys we play with on a regular basis, and he's been playing the least amount of time. Or he's the worst one of the foursome. And they were talking.
Jeez, you want to talk to you like that?
But by far.
No, it's true.
Oh,
It's true.
Absolutely.
Matt was one of the other ones, the guy with longer hair, and then our buddy Ryan and
Macaulay?
Macaulay.
Yeah.
So the two of us, me and him played them too, and those two guys. I mean, there's Ryan probably shoots mid to high 80s. Matt's broken 80 a few times. You know how I play, and then he's probably his best score is 108, 6.
106.
Yeah. So we're at a disadvantage, obviously. So we scrambled against them two guys, and man, we ended up winning by 1.
Made some putts.
And made a lot of putts. And dude, how satisfying was that victory? Because they were chirping.
So sweet.
I mean, they were chirping so much. The group chat was so live before that round.
I bet.
And we won
The
on the
bets
last
that were
damn
offered.
hole. We won on the last hole, man. It was God. It felt so fucking good, dude.
Hey, but you and I could take he and Matt. We could do that.
You want some action?
It would just be him.
It would just be him. Y'all playing against him.
You could just sit in the cart, dude. You wouldn't even have to get
Hey,
out.
help me make some putts. Help me make some putts. We're good.
Yeah.
What he means by that is you hit the putt first and show him what it's going to do. Because that's what he means.
You're gonna read
That's
my
what we
shit.
did when we scrambled.
Yeah.
I was like, hey,
It helps
just
to see a line.
Yeah. He would literally, I'd tell him, I'd be like, hey, I want you to start it here and just hit it soft.
We had to play a course that he hasn't played.
True.
It's not going to help much, but
Well, it's not going to be a course around here. He's played every course around here.
what's your favorite course around here? Obviously Indian Hills, but outside Indian Hills.
The Grove.
Where the fuck is the Grove?
That's where it is. Some of that.
Oh, some of that.
You gotta have
You
some
gotta
of
have
that.
that.
Play there. No, here's what
Oh,
it
we
is.
playing there.
He's not a member out there, but he's really good at golf, so all the members want to play with him out there.
He just
When I was playing, it was called a rewards membership.
Yeah.
So I was a member for 2 years, but it was basically free. It was designed for guys playing. Pretty fantastic program, but there were probably 6 or 8 of us Millards on it.
So literally what I just said.
Yeah. No, but literally. And so I was out there 2018, 2019. But the reason it's set up is because more than likely you're not going to make it
Yeah.
in golf. But you meet all these influential people and whatnot, and that's how I got this job. Was golf.
Yeah.
In medical sales. It was just from meeting a member out there, and we played probably once every 2 or 3 months, and just kind of hit it off. And like you said, it's all about who you know. We played on a Wednesday. I told him the story that I was done. Was interviewing with another company. Friday I was hired.
Damn. That's quick.
It's pretty
dude.
sick.
That's quick.
It's pretty neat. I didn't even know that he owned a medical supply company.
Dude, I should try that at Stone Driver. I'm going to call the pro shop tomorrow. Be like, hey, I don't know if y'all know this, but dues are due next week. And man, I just shot at 81. So I don't know if there's like a rewards program.
The rewards is just what it was called.
You know what? Why don't you just knock down some of that cost for me if y'all
That's
want me
right.
to keep playing out here.
It was fantastic. They
Well, you played out at Stone Driver last year and I remember guess with Spencer, didn't you? Spencer, man.
Spencer Provo, yeah.
Yeah, he's just like him. He pounds the damn golf ball. But he and this is the most notable story that I have about Spencer. But when I was younger, he was, I guess he would have been like high school or maybe even college. He played out there a lot, obviously, and he had a damn round where he had 2 hole-in-ones in the same round.
On the front nut, right?
He had a hole-in-one on 3 and 6. So he goes out to play 9 holes, right? It's getting dark, and I'm out there. I don't even think I was playing. I just hung out there. I was out there all the time. And he has a hole-in-one on 3, and word gets back to Rob in the pro shop. He's like, oh, Spencer had a hole-in-one. Oh, that's pretty cool. And he calls the pro shop again after 6. The guy I had a hole-in-one. He had a hole-in-one on 3 and 6. So at this point, he's like 5 or 6 under after 6 holes or something like that. He was just playing 9. Really only had time for 9. He sprinted the last 3 holes, 7, 8, and 9, because he was like, shit, I got to finish. And I think he only shot like, not say only, but he only shot 3 or 4 under or something like that. But just, what are the odds? Some guys play their whole life, never have a hole-in-one. He has 2 in the same round, within an hour of each other, maybe.
Yeah.
You're probably more likely to get hit by lightning.
How many have you had?
1.
I've had 1 as well.
Had 1.
Where was it?
Indian Hills.
Which one?
15, right by the road. Slam dunk.
Ooh.
Didn't touch the hole. Nothing.
Damn.
Just straight in. Didn't mess up the hole.
Is that a par 3?
Dude, I don't want to flex too hard, but I birdied that hole when we played together 2 or 3 months ago.
I know.
Yeah.
Pin was on the front.
That was pretty.
Was the pin on the front?
Yeah. A little 7-iron in there.
I
It was
know.
nice. It was pro shit, but
I know.
fine.
That's right. 3 double eagles, 1 hole-in-one.
3 double eagles? Jesus, dude. You're holding out from 200 plus then.
Actually, 2 were the pitching wedge, and one was
That's right.
One were the
hit it
9
4
iron.
yards.
I had one.
Par fives are easy when you're 9-iron into them.
I had one at Turtle Point in
Georgia, right?
North Alabama
Oh, okay.
about 3 months ago.
Damn.
It's pretty sweet. But one was in a tournament.
Bet that felt good.
It helped.
You made the cut?
Yeah, I won.
You won the tournament.
It was a small tournament. Nothing. It wasn't. It was just a.
How many tournaments have you won?
That's what I wanted to ask.
And don't give us small, large. We just want win counts. How many?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't have a number.
Just
12?
like 12?
Yeah, maybe.
Damn.
15? I don't know.
Do you remember your first one? It could have been when you're, go back as far as you can.
15 years old.
Henry
Horton.
Vinny Tour?
2-day event.
Yeah.
Henry Horton. Guess what I played with?
Who?
Horn Camp. Yeah, sure did. I was 15, 2-day tournament at Henry Horton.
What'd you shoot?
70, 73, I think.
Damn. That's lights out for 15.
Chance played in the tournament too.
Really? Mm-hmm. Did he play high school off or no?
Yeah.
Where'd he go to high school?
He went to high school at Rocks. No, that's Laverne. He went to Laverne for 1 year, then he moved to Weston.
Okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, Horn Camp.
Chance hits the ball good, man.
Mm-hmm. We played together the second day, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
In that tournament in 2005. The greens are still bent.
That's wild, man.
Mm-hmm.
The Vince Gill, the Vinny Tour. It was like a little local junior tour.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, it was called the Vince Gill Tour.
Yeah.
Now it's called the Sneds Tour.
Could be.
I think so. Snedeker.
How bad do you think you beat those kids' ass today?
Some of them are okay. I mean, I'd probably slip up a couple rounds and get spanked.
Hey, whatever happened to that guy? I know he went on to do a few big things. Payne Denman. Where's he playing at?
He used to live with me and Jason.
Did he?
He
I just remember I don't think I met him. I might have met him once. I knew he was a hell of a golfer.
He played at Florida for 1.5 years.
Florida.
And then transferred to MTSU.
The University of Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd he go to high school?
DeKalb County, Smithville.
Shit.
Mm-hmm. He played pro. He played some Latin stuff.
Yeah.
Just like me, he met a guy at the Grove, started working for him. It's crazy.
Man, speaking of Smithville, Riverwatch gave me fits last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was hard, man.
I haven't played there in 10 years.
That's
probably.
way too hard for your average golfer.
It is difficult.
I mean, I never had a flat lie the entire time, I don't think. The ball was either above my feet, below my feet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in any rush to go back there.
It's fun, though.
Yeah, maybe. Not for me. I didn't enjoy myself. Hit it all over that track, man.
Mm-hmm.
Joe.
What else you got?
Man, it's been good.
Dude, I wonder if that donut wasn't that good. Because he only ate one of them.
I'm about to eat the rest. I'm about to eat the next one.
Okay.
Don't let him pressure you into things.
That's why I took a sip of water so I could get over here and just indulge.
I don't think he was going to until that, but there we go.
No, man, I think
Shout out Kelsey.
Shout out
Kels for the great. Matt, I looked a little bit at your Instagram, but do you ever give any sort of tip videos or anything on your Instagram? You don't. Okay.
Damn, it's good. No, when I was playing, I taught a little bit. I just didn't enjoy it that much.
I got you.
Just because I had to have a lot of patience with myself. I don't know. I didn't enjoy teaching, really. Yep.
I can't see that. No, hit it like this, man. It's not that hard. I hit it 300 yards all the time.
So,
you idiot.
You're never going to hit it 300 yards like that.
Yeah.
A couple of people asked me last year if I would teach them some short game stuff. Which it's one thing, just kind of a pointer here and there, but a full blown lesson, no.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it.
I'm gonna keep going out to Indian Hills on the weekends until I catch him chipping.
That's what he said. He's driving up in the cart and he goes, "Hey, can I get a chipping lesson?" That's exactly what you said.
That is what I said. I mean, I wasn't joking. I think he thinks I was joking. I wasn't joking. I did hole out though on 9.
On 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even have to go putt.
I was so excited to see him. They were Matt went down on the green and he was like, "Dude, you hold out." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome, dude." I was like, "How you been, man?"
Yeah, he didn't even go get the ball. I don't think.
He didn't go get the ball. They got the ball for me.
Damn, that's funny.
Oh,
but yeah, I don't know. I used to enjoy it some, but I don't enjoy it as much.
It feels like there's teachers and players, and they don't often overlap.
Some do.
Like I said, I got lessons from 2 people growing up, and you know them, and I won't say their name, at Stones River. And one of them wasn't as good of a teacher, but he was a phenomenal player. Mm-hmm. And the other one, I mean, he'd struggle to break 85. You know, but he just broke it down so simply. You know what I mean? Like just related the information so well.
There's a lot of it like that. I don't feel like I can connect with the player or whatnot in terms of explaining stuff, and just like breaking it down. For one, I haven't had a lot of practice at it. Like I don't know what each person understands. I can gain some information, but you know, there's some stuff that I definitely wouldn't explain well, or the other person might be lost a little bit, and so a lot of it is repetitive, sure. And I think that's part of it why I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would.
You have any? Let me ask you this: is there like the pre-shot routine? We talked about preparation. We talked about routines. When you're hitting your tee-ball, what are you thinking about? What's your pre-shot? Just walk us through it.
So you always want to have a target.
Okay.
Aim small, miss small.
Right.
Yeah, you want to pick something down, I don't know, down the fairway, or if you're moving it or working the ball, you want your start line and you want your end line. Me, I like to hit a fade. So like, let's say I'm just going to pick out a tree or something way down the fairway and just try to fade it off of that. I want to hit a 10-yard cut off of that. And that's the last thing I look at before I pull the trigger.
Now, do you try to visualize that in your head? Like, do you try to see the ball?
Yep. Definitely.
Gotcha.
Definitely.
You try to see it doing what you want it to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like an ideal situation. For me, the most satisfying thing on a golf course is, and it's not necessarily the result, but it's when I do exactly what I want to do. And it might not even be the outcome. Like when I hit a putt and I start it exactly how I want and the pace is perfect and I miss it, a lot of people get frustrated and it's like, you know, it's maybe my read was off. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like maybe I need to, but like executing a shot perfectly is such a good feeling. Even if it's like a little 80-yard wedge shot, whatever. It's like, okay, I want to land it 10 feet. It's going to take a big hop. It's going to check up. And doing just that, even though it's not a high degree of difficulty shot, it's so satisfying to know that I planned that out in my head and I executed it exactly how I wanted to. It's just, there's nothing like it.
Yeah. It's I find myself doing that more with the short game shots, like the chipping and stuff. Just obviously I try to plan every shot or at least see it, but it feels like the chippers are more apt to be executed than the long range sometimes, or maybe it's just because I pay more attention to it. Yeah, but
see, my confidence just that holds me back from chipping. I mean, just knowing I'm very self-aware, and I know I'm not a good wedge player, and it's just when I'm standing over a putt, I feel like every putt's going in or has a legitimate chance to go in. Chipping, it's like, damn, let's just give myself a good putt at it. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a horrible swing thought to have, you know? And of course, all you're thinking about is, I chili dipped the last one, I sculled the last one. You're standing over it, and it's just like, how can you expect a good outcome?
One thing about, like, being over it is, like, I played with some guys this past weekend, and they're like, oh, man, I hope I don't shank it, because he had the shank.
God,
like, that's you cannot have a negative thought in your head like that. You're like we're talking about the chipping, like, I'm about to hit this to 3 feet, or I'm about to hit this to 5 feet, or within 5 feet, you know. Having that last little positive thought, you're way more apt to have a good shot than...
Do you have something you always say to yourself or anything like that?
Just, like, commit to the shot, execute.
Commit to the shot.
Yeah. Because I know that it's going to be how I want it as long as I execute the shot or commit to the shot.
It feels like a lot of people are swinging without even knowing what they want the shot to be.
Most people don't know.
Like, in the best case scenario, they can't even envision what they want that shot to do, you know?
But Phil Mickelson says you can't chip with the ball between your feet. But time and time again, he sees players try to chip with the ball between their feet.
Oh, he means all the way in the back or all the way in the front?
You got to have the ball either at the front of your stance or the back of your stance. So,
no, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
I got a video. I'll show you.
It's situational.
I'm sure you could have said that for sure. I'm not saying you're a liar.
He has some shaft lean in a lot of his chipping.
But there's also, how many different golf swings are there out there?
A bunch.
I mean, and how many get the job done? You know what I mean? Like
he's also high level pro, pretty high level, I guess. But
you think about
do what you're most comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably why it would be difficult to teach too. I know you know more than I do, but it seems like in golf there's like a lot of like everybody's not gonna be the same. And so, like, how can you teach this person when they don't play like that? You know, so
I think the three of us need to go play.
I'll just watch.
I'll suffer through the embarrassment because I just want you to see the discrepancy.
I know it's big.
Yeah, I don't think you do though, but you'll know. You will learn.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Matt, thanks for coming on,
Hey,
brother.
this has been fantastic catching up.
Good
Fantastic
seeing you,
catching
brother.
up.
Good seeing you.
Fantastic. This is sweet.
Matt Dipshit Jebavy, everyone.
Follow him on Instagram at Matt Jebavy, right?
Yeah.
All right.